I actually wish you didn't hear me unmute my mic. I Oops, I needed to pause the stream. I'm sorry. I had the stream on, so it popped when I unmuted my mic. But I don't want you to hear the intense gamer moments. And I'm sure you can hear everything Tanisha's doing. Say hi.
Hi.
Did you hear that? Yeah. That's why I wish I could mute it without it being so loud. Sorry for I'm just getting my mic situated. The heavy breathing intensifies. Yeah, I wish I could hear the popping, but I don't. I just think it's the mic. And I think you can hear the music through my mic through my headset. If only I had a desk mic. See if I can get one in before we play some D&D. Might have to turn my mic down. So I'm sure you can hear me breathing, even though it's not even near my face. I don't have a button to mute. Guess I could make one. Should I risk getting that? No. I don't see anybody else. Ice. I don't really like ice with toxic, but it works. Yeah. I can't find it took the button off because I'm using a different Streamlabs thing, and now the button's not showing up at all. I wonder how Stone works with I guess we'll see. So I'm gonna mute it for now, then I'll figure out how I can get it on Streamlabs.
Oh, here he is.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. How are you? Are you going in? Oh, are you going in?
I'm doing good. Thanks for asking. Here comes He-Man himself.
Hey guys.
Hello.
Hey, it's our man with ant strength.
Hello.
And finally, we are all here.
Hey, it's Philly G, my ship buddy. I've been saving that for 2 weeks.
That's fine. You going to be able to do the full stream this time?
The full what?
Crick is streaming this game.
Oh, has he been doing that the entire time?
He was trying last time and it wasn't working.
Oh, well,
Mhm.
and I see. I feel like we probably talked about it, and I was like, yeah, that's fine.
Well, you did. We did, and that's exactly what you said.
Well, good, because I was, for some reason, I'm very surprised, but I'm also like, I'm okay with this, so it works out.
You're okay. We're okay.
Yeah, it really works out that way, isn't it?
So,
What a positive vibe.
Who wants to recap what happened last?
We in the desert, yo.
I'm trying to remember what did happen. Oh, yeah, we started off barricading the door, tried making the deal with the dragon again, ran in a secret entrance and tried running away from our pursuers. Ended up not doing so great in the pursuit, so we were demanded to basically surrender. Some of us was surrendering while one of us was trying to stand his ground, which I think I don't remember if we knocked him out or if they knocked him out. I know Lex got knocked out because he was trying to kill something. Found out they were too tough. Taken to a prison in hell, and then a couple days passed in hell while we found a guy. Well, a couple people. One guy that was scared shitless, a woman and a child, and a guy that was, just
A bastard.
pretty much batshit crazy and an asshole. Yeah. He made a deal with the devil, and we decided to make that same deal. Some of us, well, a lot of us have to kill certain people in the world, but the price for us to bring Philip with us was to take 3 relics and place them in churches at certain locations. After we made the deal, Billy John decided to talk to the fiend privately. Came back. We tried asking what happened. He wasn't keen on letting us know what happened, so we let it go with some doubt.
Everybody is sus.
Yeah, we're all okay. You're hiding something for sure because we did do some rolls on that.
Yeah.
All got crammed into a big gigantic pot, transported to a place where there was a magic circle for planar travel, and now we're in a desert, naked, afraid, and
Well, we're not naked.
well,
We have the clothes on our
He's
back.
naked.
so that-
I'm naked.
You're always naked.
This is all Lex's mind. He's recapping.
You've been walking around naked. You say it like it's a big fucking deal.
A show of pride.
You guys have any recollection of devils like stopped walking by the door when that one guy appeared?
Yep.
Yeah.
I know you had some opinions of that.
Yeah, we think he's someone of power, but we don't know how high. But we do have contracts. The people that are not binded to contracts is Lex and Philip. Am I missing anything?
No.
Sounds about right to me.
Pretty
And
much
now, I think the only thing missing is that, as luck would have it, you're in RVO's home territory, so you can definitely very easily. Well, I say easily, but with some competence.
Well, yeah, I think the plan was to follow RVO to a town that he knows of, and in hopes of either seeing where we go from there or what our next move is, basically.
Yes. Because we're not going to last out here for very long.
And I believe it's middle day, or is it evening? What time of day is it, Soltic?
As you guys, having stood here for a moment, taking in the situation, everything around you, RVO kind of gets his bearings, looks around, and eventually he kind of has an inkling what direction it is. You realize the sun is at its zenith up in the sky, so about middle of the day. As RVO just starts marching, he believes northwards. I never had him do a check for it, but he was pretty sure of where he was at, and he started marching, and the rest of you followed.
RVO, fueled by rage and determination alone, continues to stomp through wastelands.
But it is not without failure. As you guys travel, the sun starting to head ever onwards towards its sunset, and it's starting to get a little cooler as the sun starts to hit the horizon. Shadows start to fall over the lands as you're going up and over dunes, and eventually you come up onto one dune, and you look ahead, and in the horizon, you can kind of see like this shimmer that looks like water before you, which RVO you would know full well. I mean, that this is some kind of like sun reflecting off. Like, I don't know if you guys ever seen it on the road, where like way out in front of the road, it kind of just looks like water. Yeah, and that's kind of what you're seeing. But past that, you see just like a black mark on the horizon, and you just continue heading in this direction, and eventually you realize this is not a mirage. You were following the mountains faithfully as you start to see what looks like little peaks of towers and buildings sticking above a wall. It is not too much longer as night is at hand, and you guys find yourselves walking up what looks to be two giant statues. They look to be ruined and kind of like lost with time, but they just stand kind of like sentries, just looking out over the desert, and behind it's just a carpet of buildings of various heights. And you can see even past that, there's this wall that just barely stands above it, and it just kind of goes off in both horizons, and you can see towers past this wall reaching up into the sky. And you can see really far in, past everything, there's this really tall building with super tall towers that you would know, Arvio, would be the palace of this place.
Oh, is this Torrid?
You guys have now found yourselves approaching Torrid.
Is there any writing on these statues?
No, they kind of resemble some kind of humanoid, but they're so just worn that you can't really make out like fine details. Like the face is kind of worn away. You can't really see nose or eyes. You see kind of like little dimples where there used to be, but these things have obviously sat here for a very long time.
Are these like carved out of stone, or would they be like a
They
a
seem
being of what I am, basically?
you guys can see the picture before you, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes.
They seem to be carved out of one giant block of stone.
Impressive craftsmanship. Makes me really miss my piece of fine craftsmanship. My poor bagpipes.
You guys do see as you kind of are approaching and you're looking into the buildings, the road ahead of you that these statues clearly mark. You can see figures moving around. You also see what looks like very shiny, reflective people just kind of just standing all about.
Before we move on, I kind of want to go over to Shurbrek and ask him, Shurbrek, you're not totally on board with undead, am I correct on that assumption?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. I will need you to do me a favor in the sense of, in light of our delicate situation, we might be coming up against undead, which just so happened to be the city guard. Please. So if you see that, that's normal. Please do not attack them. We don't want to cause unnecessary trouble and attention.
Well, okay.
Yes.
I will ask the pretty lady what she thinks of it, but I won't do anything right now.
Fair enough.
Okay, so you guys...
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, I continue, is what I was going to say.
All right, so you guys continue onwards, heading in. Eventually, you find yourself on the outskirts of the city, and you can, just from appearance alone, this is the slums. The grotto, I think's another word for it, but this is a very rundown place. But you guys do catch this whiff, this smell. It just seems so wrong, and why don't you guys actually give me Constitution saving throws as you breathe this in? RVO, I would say you're used to it.
Yeah, I was about to ask. I grew up here, fam. My old house is right down the road.
Billy begins puking all over the place.
Yes, he does. All right, so you guys notice Billy as you kind of get this whiff, this stench. It's just very foul and out of place. Billy just starts vomiting, and you kind of pause for a moment as he's vomiting, and you look over at this person wearing this reflective armor, and they're standing there as still as a statue, and you notice that it is a zombie wearing plate armor. Not like medieval knight plate armor. It's kind of like Arabian Nights type plate armor.
Oh,
Welcome to
red
Torrid.
one. Philip, was it you?
No,
I
that's
think it's
the.
that guy over there.
Nope, that's the local. We're gonna call it fauna. Welcome to Torrid, city of the undead. And everybody wonders why I wanted to move out.
But
I think this place is a lot better than where we came from.
Agreed. But I would have liked to not come here empty-handed. Though beggars cannot be choosers.
You brought fellow companions, I guess. Is that what we're calling ourselves now?
There's a. I bet we could get more clever with that.
you guys,
acquaintances.
you guys continue forward, and you see these armored zombies just kind of scattered everywhere, and they're just standing there. They don't their eyes don't move, their heads don't move, but they seem to be just kind of like a sentry of some sort. But you do notice that there's living people here. There's lots of living people moving about, trying to make a life of this place. The humans here, there's very few fair-skinned, white-skinned humans. There's a lot of olive and brown and darker-skinned humans here. For some of you, that might be different if the only place you ever lived was the Northern Hold. So, definitely something that stands out. You also notice that there's these elephant people walking by, and you see a hippo person that goes by. You see a cat person, dwarf, elf. You kind of take it in and realize this place, while humans are still the dominant race here, it's just such a mixing pot of different races. And eventually you find yourself standing before this wall and this giant gate that's probably about 50 feet so tall. And there's a line of people waiting to go in. And you notice that there's more of these armored things standing there. And there seems to be a couple that are moving about and dealing with people up at the front of the line. And you guys are kind of just standing here, just taking this all in.
Okay, before we move forward, considering my previous engagement in this location, would me coming back be a problem? Considering the situation about people leaving being, as I've come to understand it, kind of frowned upon?
I mean, you can find out. You know, people leave and eventually come back, and there's kind of issues with it, but nobody's taking the gel or anything over it.
Okay, cool. That's all I need to know.
Executions.
Oh, didn't you pickpocket and leave? Time to chop off your head.
You know, bringing up the subject, that there are lots of executions that go on here, and they are. You do anything that's against the law, you are executed. A starving child steals a piece of bread and they hang him. And you know that once they kill him, they take the dead body and they raise it as undead and put it in the army.
Yeah, that's kind of what I figured. Do I tell the team about that, or do I just let them figure that one out for themselves?
But you would have enough of a guess to know that coming back, they probably, you're not high on their radar. But you won't know until you actually get in and start mixing and mingling.
Okay, well, I'm going to turn to the rest of the team and kind of try to huddle them all up. And it's okay, so heads up. When we get into here, we all need to be on our best behavior. Because if we do anything wrong, they are going to execute us on the spot. And then, after they execute us, they're going to raise our bodies as undead. Because that's just how the king likes it, I guess.
So who is the king?
Oh, one moment. My player has it in his notes.
What's the player?
That's a good question. Let's not talk about it. That's secret dividend knowledge. Anyway, the Necromancer King Yersild. Am I saying that right? I think I am. King Yersild is
that's
the
it.
king, and as you can tell, also a necromancer. So,
If you want to, you can give me a history check.
me? Okay.
Yeah.
So, what are you laughing about?
That would be metagaming. That'd be metagaming.
All right, fine. Oh, wait a fucking minute.
You know, probably would have been when you were a child that your Sild showed up and he took over the city with the undead force. And since then, he won, obviously, gained power, and since then he's kind of been taking over the whole desert. You know, rumors that he's basically this person who believes that undead make like the best soldiers because they don't betray you, they don't sabotage or backstab you, and he is very strict. People say that he just wants to have a lawful city.
Okay, I will share this with the group in saying, yeah, basically he's the king is a very authoritarian sort of dictator-esque sort of guy. He likes undead because they don't tend to backstab you, mostly due to direct control over them. And he apparently just wants a lawful city.
Question.
Mm-hmm.
Is this king a good king or a bad?
I would say, in what way?
You said he wants lawful city, right?
Yeah.
Is that in the good sense or a bad sense?
He wants... Well, buddy, honestly, I'm a wee bit biased. Maybe it's because of my, profession. And let's be real, I kind of want to get my family out of here. I'm going to say he's pretty shitty king. But, you didn't hear it from me. Especially because if you steal a loaf of bread, you get executed.
Well, we know the laws in this city are very high, so he wants to have law and order above everything else. So is he a tyrant or is he not?
Well, I would say he's pretty much a tyrant, yeah. Out of character, I'm not entirely sure how to go about that, because, how are we defining tyrant?
Well, he took over by force and he rules by force, so...
Okay, so yeah, tyrant. So yeah, basically a tyrant.
Deja vu.
He wasn't voted in, he didn't win people's approval type of thing. He came in, conquered, and basically said this is the law, enforced it on everybody.
Yeah, he came in, he killed a whole bunch of people when I was a kid, claimed himself as king, and the ultimate rule over this land.
How old is this individual?
May I do another history check? Was the 17 good enough to know that?
17's good enough to tell you that nobody knows.
So
Nobody really seen this guy. He
Yeah.
kind of serves through people that are like his mouthpiece and his officers, basically. He has like human guards and soldiers, but they're mostly just officers. All the foot soldiers are undead.
Yeah, well, I'm going to say that. Well, I don't really know how old he is. Frankly, there's plenty of talk about him just straight up being a lich, which, let's be real, nobody would be surprised about. I do remember he has quite a few officers around him that are straight up human. I guess it's his trusted inner circle, but a lot of the more common soldiers are just variations of undead.
What is
This must be on our best behavior then.
what's Grim feeling about this?
He doesn't like it, but he's gonna just keep his mouth shut.
And what about Sherbrick?
Sherbrick really doesn't like it, but he knows that he can't really do anything right now, so best to just keep his head down, bite his tongue.
And I know Philip has already said things to me.
If it makes you all feel any better, I know how to evade the guards if we need to do so. It wouldn't be the first time I ran from them.
Let's not make that a habit.
I'm aware. Let's be honest, I'm the one suggesting we stay out of trouble.
Yeah.
But backup plans are always needed.
Okay, so you guys kind of have this conversation off to the side. Eventually, you fall into the line. It's not too long, but you do find yourselves at the front of it. You are staring at a living human. Again, he's kind of like olive tan skin and color. Behind him, there's just about like 20 or so undead just flanking each side of the gate, and they're just, again, very motionless standing there. And as you approach, he asks if you have anything to declare.
Is that your way of asking if I'm here for business or pleasure?
I need to know if you have any anything on you that should not be in the city.
I look down at my clothes and look back at him. Yeah, I'm gonna say, no.
And your friends? I assume you are all together.
No, I have nothing.
And he points at Lex and he says, "What's about that one? What is that?"
I'm a machine. Quite honestly, I'm just a construct. I don't have anything that. What's not allowed in this city? I'm new here.
Lots of things that are not unregistered are not allowed. So if you have anything you need to register, this would be the place and time to do it.
What type of registration?
Slaves, trades, spices.
Oh, no, I don't have any sort of that.
And he looks at the rest and he says, "And they are all here of their accord?"
Yes.
We're all here out of necessity.
Aye.
Free will. Yes.
He just kind of stares him over for a minute, and then he stands to the side and he says, "Cause no trouble, or it shall swiftly be dealt with." And he holds his hand out inwards towards the city.
Of course, that's my heart.
I bow low to him as I pass by. Blessings be upon you. Blessings.
All right, so you all make your way into the city, and you find that it's a lot nicer in here. All the buildings are made of sandstone, some variety and type. Some seem to be cut from like stones that you find in a quarry, but it's mostly sandstone. There is vastly more people in here moving about, and you walk a little way through, and you eventually find this small river that kind of just flows through the center of town, and there's boats and merchant tents and things propped up alongside of it, and there's bridges probably like every 100 feet or so crossing over it. But you guys have now found yourself inside of Torrid, the capital city of the desert of the Ivory Sea.
So, Arvio, is there any place that we might be able to like find some work or something that we can maybe resupply ourselves a little bit?
Well, I mean, there's always the bar. They tend to have bulletin boards and such. But I can do a history out of character. I can do a history check to see if there would be any other places that we can pick up work. Yes?
Sure. Yeah, you can give me a history check. Do you know that there's plenty of work to be found in the city, from blacksmithing? There are temples here, acolytes. They could use acolytes. There's a library. There's a tavern. Your musical friends might be able to find work there. You know that there is a Colosseum type place where fighting's done, and free agents can enter it. There's really a lot of stuff you guys could do.
Well, frankly, we're probably all going to have to be picking up odd jobs. Like Billy, you're probably going to have to do a couple of performances. I'm sure you won't mind that.
I don't have any instruments.
We can take care of that. We could. Can you? Do you do a cappella?
You've heard my singing.
Fair point. We're gonna come back to you. Frederick. There are plenty of temples which I'm sure need work. Acolytes to tend to them. I don't know if the pretty lady has any temples, but Philip, I'm sure there's Philip, Grimm, Lex, I'm sure there's plenty of places that need muscle and hard labor. Though, me personally, I'm going to try my hand at the library, and I really hope they don't remember my face, because I kind of stole a lot of books way back in the day. So!
So at this point,
Yeah.
go ahead.
I was gonna say, Lex would kind of turn to Philip and say, "I'm sorry for what happened. I will try getting back what you've lost, if it means anything."
You say that, and then you recall that you actually haven't heard Philip say anything ever since you arrived here. And
Yeah.
as you say that, he just stares in the distance silently, not really acknowledging what you said.
All right, so
Yeah, guys, that contract that we signed, RVO, you know something about them. What if we kill the dude that we signed them with? Do we still have to be bound to by the contract? I mean, you were the only one that could actually read him.
you are talking, you're muted.
He
No, not
might-
you.
Might
Oh,
be
really?
okay.
RVO.
He's typing.
No, if you can hear me, if you want, you can do a an Arcana check on that. I think your natural roll kind of wore off at this point. Well, anybody else have anything to say? Wait for him to come back.
I wouldn't mind working at the blacksmith.
Are we good?
Thinking the same thing.
Now
Yeah,
we
here
can
you
hear
go.
you.
Yeah.
Okay, what did I miss?
Did you hear my question to you?
Absolutely not.
All right. So Billy turned to you and asked that the contracts that we signed, RBO. Do we? If we kill the guy that we signed them with, does that have any bearing on the contract?
I was saying you could give me a Arcana check.
Okay, thank you. Did you guys hear everything I said before that, or did I completely robot out?
I think it completely rolled out.
Yeah, because he had a bunch of suggestions as to what you guys could do, but I
No,
don't-
we heard all
Yeah,
that.
we heard those. Yeah.
Cool. Arcana. Fuckity.
You're not too really sure.
No idea. Something I can look into while I am at the library. Totally working for money.
Where's this blacksmith at?
Philip will actually go to library as well.
Oh, were you joining me then?
He's more of he just silently going to the same players as you, not really following you.
Okay, so
Has he been silent this whole time?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Okay, cool, great, fantastic. That's out of character. All of this, anyway.
he's been purposely silent.
Yes.
Cool. There's been a lot of exposition that I haven't been shown, but
I
everybody
think the only thing Philip probably did was like, and that was it.
run
Yeah,
to
pretty much.
Pretty much just a.
Okay.
So, I guess Arvio and Philip, you don't have to make
And me.
rolls.
I'm gonna go. I want to go with him.
You want to go to the library too?
Yeah.
Okay, so you don't have to make rolls. You guys kind of follow him. He knows where he's going. The rest of you, you're splitting off to do other things. You will need to just give me a intelligence check.
I have a question. Can I give them directions and give them advantage on that?
Well, if you give them directions, they won't even need to make it. I was gonna give them advantage if they stop and ask guard. So
Oh, I'll just tell them they want to go.
okay.
And Lex is gonna go with Grim to the blacksmith.
Sherbrooke will actually follow Arvio and Billy and Philip.
It's basically Grim and Lex going to the blacksmith. Everybody
I'm
else
like-
to the library.
I'm gonna go to the library. I start walking in the direction. I kind of look back to see where everybody else is going, and half of the team is following me, and I'm like, okay, I guess.
I guess we'll meet you back at the library. I guess we can find where that is later.
Yeah. It's where we're gonna be sleeping tonight, maybe.
Okay, so you give directions to Grim and Lex, and they kind of go their own way. Everybody else follows you. You wander your way through this city. It is hot, but the shadow and the water definitely make it more tolerable, but it's definitely still hot even in the city. And even with the sun kind of heading down, it's not as hot as it was, but it's getting cooler. You eventually find this building it's all sandstone, and it's about 4 stories tall, and you got these giant doors on it, and you can see carved on them are these like very elaborate books, and in the wall there's like these pillars every so often, and then windows in between them. But you definitely know this to be the library. It does not really have an official name. People just know it as the city library, or the Library of Torrid if you had to give it a name.
Cool.
Hold on, guys. Actually, let's take like a 5-minute break.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay. No,
Okay.
it's fine.
I'm good.
Hmm.
Like, Grim, have you done blacksmithing before?
Nope.
Shit. I'm gonna brute force this, I guess.
Well, it doesn't help. I mean, it doesn't hurt to ask for help.
Hey, Billy. Or Arvio.
Yes, sir.
I'll be back quick too.
I could make some food if we need to sell things. It's not very good, but you guys are good at selling. We could probably sell that to get a little bit of money.
We'll see how much the librarian likes me. But that's not a terrible idea.
Well, since you don't know the answer to my question, Arvio, I was going to see if they had any books on the subject.
On selling things or on the demon thing?
On demonic contracts
Yes, good.
or devil contracts.
I figured that's what you were doing.
Grim, how well are you with other weapons besides your great axe? You there, Grim? Good talk.
God, there was so much talking.
Well, it's good for RP. We're kind of stuck. Lex is thinking about that Coliseum thing.
Executable.
No, you'll be a gladiator.
I'm back.
Welcome back.
Hey.
Grim. How well are you with other weapons besides your axe?
I mean, I was handed down to me. I am still a novice.
If you need a spear, let me know.
I'm sure I can figure it out.
Well, what's your thoughts on the Coliseum that Arvia said? Fight for gold?
Depends. Depends on what we're doing. Fisticuffs or weapons to the death or something.
You got a point there.
Hi, I would like you to physically beat this giant metal man with your bare hands.
I mean, it's doable. It is doable.
It is doable, but any man with common sense is like, what the fuck are you trying to ask me to do?
Yeah, but what if he has nothing left to lose and it is life and death?
This is true. It's like, fuck it, I don't need these hands. Not like I'm gonna use them after I die anyway.
Because I was thinking the Coliseum.
Well, he's
One way to
organic
get-
matter. Metal matter, so...
Yeah, I mean,
It
we
hits
get more gold out of it if we do it that way. But work right now to save up for weapons to go for it, I guess, would probably be the best.
I mean, eventually we could make our own weapon.
You got a point, depending on what the master says. The master blacksmith, I mean. If
Right.
he'll allow us to make our own weapons, that'll be great, with enough work paid.
Yeah, it'd give us the skill.
What's your thoughts on asking for work? I know you need to eat, I don't. So, do you want to do like a room and board situation where you get meals and a place to stay for a bit while you work, or
Yeah, I wouldn't want to be out here in the desert.
neither would I? I can stand guard the blacksmith shop if they need to, but looking around, they don't really need a personal guard from what I'm seeing.
Well, I'm already... It's kind of sad that I don't have my armor anymore, but it's also a blessing that I don't have it on right now. It's be killing me.
Yeah, it is hot, I will say that.
Oh, hey, that's the use for Arvio's fire resistance. He can wear, like, full fuck. If he was a warrior, he'd be able to wear full fucking armor out here, because he's just used to it.
Yeah, pretty much.
Does fire resistance translate to resistance to heat exhaustion? That is the real question.
Probably.
Probably.
It would just be fatigue, not a heat exhaustion, though.
It would just be
fair.
exhaustion, most likely, and not heat.
Yeah.
Doesn't really get into that specifics. Kind of like hypothermia.
Sounds like you need frost resistance.
What is this, Skyrim?
Oh, you got me there.
Well, I mean, the term resistance only means or refers to of you being somewhat resistant to it than others. So you probably will still get it. It's just it'll
It's the
take you a longer time to
terminology.
get it. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, it's just the terminology that I slipped into.
All right, so you guys find your way into the library. And is everybody here?
Mhm.
I guess we should start with that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Start here. Okay.
Yep.
You guys walk in, and you see this little desk. It's like a very small room, and there's chairs on either side, and there's this desk with these giant doors behind it, wooden doors. And you see this gnome who's kind of sitting there, like writing something down. He got this giant quill. It's like this plume that kind of comes up and curls, and it's almost as big as he is. And he looks up his spectacles and takes you all in as you kind of gather into this room. And he's, hello, can I help you?
Hello. My name is Rashid, and I would like to apply for some sort of job within this library. I do believe that it would be a good fit for me. There are also the matter of my cohorts, which, and it kind of like turns to the rest of you, I do believe merely want to peruse the collection.
Well, we could always use help. We got lots of things that somebody could do. As far as browsing goes, you would have to enter our books and set a date and come back when we have somebody available to take you through.
We have to schedule a time to read books.
You need to schedule a time in order to have somebody go with you. And are you all going to be together reading books or individually? Because then I would have to get somebody to escort each of you individually.
I would like to read certain books, so I don't know if my companions want to read the same books I do.
Well, we got plenty of books. You could it just depends on what you all want to do.
Are we standing in like a whole place or something? Are we surrounded by books right now, or is it just like?
Sorry, you're kind of quiet, Philip.
Oh, sorry. Oh yeah, it's new setup. So are we like in like a corridor or a lounge, or are we surrounded by books right now?
It kind of looks like a lounge.
So there are no books like in the new facility.
In this area, no.
Okay, fair enough.
Well, I could get one if you wish to go. What is your name? He's looking at you, Billy.
My name's Billy John.
Okay, Billy. So if you wish to, we should have somebody tomorrow to be able to take you.
That would be wonderful.
And this kind of nods and he says, okay. He kind of shuffles through some papers. He takes out this big book and he flops it over, and just like the cover of it thumps onto the desk. And he pulls out a quill and he kind of writes something in it. And he says, and if you wish, I could get somebody to come. And he's talking to you, Orvio. Come and help you out, or help you into the back where we can find some work for you.
Yes, that sounds absolutely wonderful. I would love that.
Yes.
So he gets up and he walks over and he grabs like this little rope and he tugs it a couple times, and you can hear this distant kind of ding ding. And eventually the door opens and you see another gnome kind of shuffle in, and he turns to him. If you guys wish to say anything while you're waiting, you can, because it is a little bit of a wait. Okay, then with that,
oh wow, you did not give any time for that. You gave us seconds.
I just didn't see any lights lighting up on Discord.
Okay.
But if you guys wish to say anything.
I whisper to Billy, I don't really know how to read. So I'll come with you if you want, but I'll just hang around.
Okay.
I kind of like lean over to Philip. What were you planning on looking up?
He turns to you. Your eyes connect. He opens his mouth and tries to say something. His lips shake, but then they close, and then he just turns back and looks towards this empty space.
Oh. Hey. Do I need to roll to see if somebody is desolate just emotionally? Or can I just assume that?
You can do whatever you want.
I'm going to insight check to just see how empty your soul is. I got an 18.
Well, my soul seems to be in place.
You know what I mean.
Well, you can with 18. I guess you could tell that there is seriously something wrong with Philip's psyche. Like ever since he woke up.
Ever since hell.
Well, ever since the last fight.
Avio isn't good with emotions. Avio is going to not deal with this situation. Avio really doesn't know what to do. So he's just gonna wait for the no.
And that's perfectly fine.
Yes. Avio, not the emotional crutch of the group. Not even fucking cool. We can continue now, I think.
Right. So you guys kind of sit there and have little conversations, little soul searching with each other.
Mm-hmm.
And eventually the door opens. You see another gnome step through, and the one turns to the other, and he's this one here motions towards you, Arvia. He would like to help out. You think you could find something for him to do? He kind of turns and looks at you, and he got long gray hair and like this mustache that kind of goes out, like handlebar mustache, and this really long beard. And he says, I think I can find something for him. If you wish to follow me, I shall take you into the back.
Yes, certainly. My name is Rashid, by the way. What's yours?
I am Torvin.
It's nice to meet you, Torvin.
He nods. And so you kind of go in. He closes the door behind you. The rest of you are now find yourself just kind of hanging out, and the gnome kind of sits there at the desk and looks back and forth and says, is there anything else I could help you out with, or?
Well, is there any other work that you can do? I mean, you have that, I might be able to assist.
Oh, I didn't know you wish work too. I could ring the bell again, get somebody else up here. Is anybody else going to be joining?
Philip just raises his hand slowly.
I'm gonna go look around the city. I'll meet you guys over here.
All right, and so he goes back and he tugs on the bell.
I shouldn't laugh at that.
Eventually, another one shows up, and he greets all of you, and he takes you into the back. It's just another gnome. You guys all find yourself kind of in the same place, and they kind of hand you like a bucket and some brushes, and they start pointing around and saying, the floor could use some scrubbing, the windows need cleaning, we have the pillars that's they need to be cleaned too, we got the baseboards all around this place, they haven't been cleaned in a long time. And they just start going through like this laundry list of stuff that you could scrub with a brush and a bucket.
I smile and nod to everything. Yes, of course. And as soon as he leaves, I just turn to Billy, and it's like, you'd think that they never heard of prestidigitation.
And with that, Billy will actually turn to the nearest shelf, wave his hand over it, and mutter something under his breath, and the shelf becomes clean.
Oh, thank God. No, okay. I'm just gonna mop. Just gonna mop over here because I don't have that. Can I just do minor illusion to make everything look clean?
I mean, you can, but eventually it'll wear off.
That's true. I'm just gonna mop, I guess.
That Philip join in scrubbing around?
Yep, Philip.
Okay.
Probably
The
Philip.
two of you are kind of scrubbing, and they don't really leave your sides, and they don't really care if Billy using his magic. But as soon as you're done cleaning that, he points to something else. And this place is massive, so you guys spend a good while just scrubbing. And while you are all doing that, we'll go ahead and jump over to Grim and Lex, who you guys kind of make your way around town. And eventually you find yourself at the location that Arvio had told you about after taking 2 lefts, 1 right, and then 3 more lefts, and finding yourself back in the same place almost. But you find yourself there. You see a sign that has an anvil and a broken dagger kind of sitting on top of it. And you go in and you see a dwarf who's just kind of sitting there tinkering away. Doesn't even really notice you. He's just working away at making some tools.
Hello there.
Hello, welcome. He kind of like sets his stuff down, wipes his little hands, his grimy hands on his apron, and he says, welcome. I didn't see you come in. Please have a look around. I got plenty of things to sell. Plenty of things. I can even repair gear if he kind of looks at you. If you got some somewhere that you need.
I was actually wondering if you would like some help around your shop. I'm new around here and I'm in need of some coin. Or if you know of any other places that need help.
And kind of chuckles and says, "Plenty of places could use help. But I mean, I could find something for you to do. I can't promise it would be good pay."
That's better than nothing at this point. And my friend would also help as well. We can move some heavy objects if need be, and I'm not trying to... I know you're a strong dude, but extra hands, doesn't hurt.
Yes, I was going to ask. I have plenty of stuff that needs to be moved around. Name's Tigrim, by the way, and what would yours be?
Nice to meet you, Trevor. I'm Grim.
I'm Lex. Pleasure to meet you.
Nods his head. Follow me, and he kind of takes you out back, and he shows you there's like a bunch of metal, long bars or ingots of metal and stuff, and he kind of explains to you how he needs them moved into the shop. He shows you like these buckets just full of I forget what it's called, the stuff you take off of metal. Flag, yeah. And he shows you like buckets of that needs to be like taken and stuff done with it, and he basically just kind of shows you hard labor that you can do around the shop.
Alright, let's get to it.
Alright, so you guys get busy going about your work. Alright. Sherbreck, as you step out into the wilds of the streets, what do you find yourself doing?
First, I was going to ask the librarian for direction for the nearest temple.
I tells you that there's plenty scattered around. Walk long enough down one street, you'll probably find one.
Okay, I will go in any direction then and look for one. First one I see.
Alright. Sure enough, you probably walk 5-10 minutes, somewhere in that time frame. It is getting pretty dark outside, but it seems like the city's still going. You don't know if this town has a bedtime. So many people here, it could just be one of those kind of like Las Vegas, all hours of the day, night and day. It's just going. But you eventually find a temple, and what you think to be a temple. And this one is all white. It's not made out of sandstone, and it's just these really large pillars that seem to be holding this golden dome. And then attached to the back of it, there is like doors and stuff. But you definitely see what looks to be all-turned benches, and there's people going around taking care of stuff, and they're dealing with other people coming into the place. You do notice that outside the temple, there does seem to be a heavy presence of the guards of town, just kind of standing opposite of the road, just lined up in front of the temple.
I'll try to approach the inside then, or try to go in.
All right, yeah, you make your way in. Nobody's blocking you. Eventually, you have somebody in robes come up. They look to be human. They are bald, and they got kind of like a goatee, and their arms are kind of in their sleeves in front of them, and they just say, "Welcome, child. Is there anything we can do for you? Do you need help?"
I'm gonna like show him my arms and show him that I'm glowing. I don't have any money, but I drank something and now I don't feel so good. Can you help me?
No, I could see if the priest could help you. We usually work off of donations, but if you had nothing you could pay with, you could always pay in work.
Yeah, I can do that.
All right, then if you wish, you could follow me. I'll take you to the priest.
Okay.
All right, so he takes you back to the wall with the doors on it. That's like on the opposite of the entrance, and he takes you through it, and you kind of like just walk down this long corridor, and there's all these different rooms off to the, each left and right. They look to be like sleeping areas, and eventually you kind of go through what looks to be a inner worship place, more private. It's smaller, and then the opposite of that, it opens up into kind of a study, and you see this gentleman who's sitting there, just kind of reading through books and pulling papers out, looking at them, rolling them up, sticking them away. And he looks up, and the person who escorted you, they kind of give each other a bow, and he says, "This child came to us. Apparently they have some kind of ailment that's making them glow. Has not been feeling good. He offered to exchange some work and for aid." And the gentleman kind of looks you over, and he just nods. The other person steps out, and he says, "Please come forward, child. The name is Stee. What's happened to you?"
Well, I went somewhere with some friends, and then there was this liquid that it looked really cool, and when I put my finger in it, it glue, and so I drank it, but now I don't feel so good.
Well, that's kind of what happens when you drink weird things. Where was this liquid at?
It was like in this tower. We went.
Not here in town, is it?
No. We went through this hole in a town. Then we showed up somewhere else where it was raining, and the rain hurt. And then we were looking for some for the tower, and I drank it in the tower. And then we went through another hole, and now I'm here. I'm not really sure where it was exactly.
He kind of just looks you over, and go ahead and give me a persuasion roll.
I wanted you to just move on and say, where did you find... Oh, it was in hell.
Ooh.
He kind of looks you over, and you see a smile appear on his face. I will still help you, child, but there's no reason to lie in such a sacred place. I know you children you fancy your stories and your imagination, but it is okay. You can be truthful with me. But if you don't wish to tell me, then I can take care of this for you.
Oh, thank you. But I wasn't lying, but okay.
And he kind of stands up, and he says, well, follow me. And he takes you back out. to the giant area it's like outside, but it's like an open air place that's still inside the building. But he takes you back out to it and to the altar that's out there, and you can still see like people walking back and forth on the street, and there's people inside the temple moving around, dealing with others and taking care of stuff. And he kind of has you come over and get before the altar, and he kind of just starts praying, and he's doing all kinds of stuff. Takes a while. Let me just look this up real quick. So yeah, it takes a while as he's kind of setting stuff up. You notice he kind of pulls out what looks to be some kind of dust, and he's going through the motions, and eventually he just kind of says something that you can't really understand as he moves his hands and he blows this dust, and it kind of just floats over you and it slowly goes down, and as it does so you can see it kind of like light up and glow, and then suddenly you feel a whole lot better as you kind of look at yourself. The glowing from the orange liquid you drink is gone, your exhaustion is no longer there, and he just nods and smiles and says, well, I believe you agreed to help pay this off, so I can go get one of the acolytes. They can find plenty for you to do around here if you wish.
Yeah, my friend also is sick. Can I work to see if you can help him too?
You can. I will tell you that was 100 gold worth of diamond I just used, so it'll take you a while to work up 200 gold worth.
Oh, okay.
Alright, well, I will go get one of the acolytes. Just wait here. And he kind of shuffles off not too far, and he starts talking to somebody and points to you. They eventually come over, and they kind of show you around the place, tell you things you can do. You could, help wrap up a wound, or you could help clean something. They need, empty chamber pots, stuff like that. But they definitely find work for you to do.
Okay. I mentioned that. Oh, I can heal things too. I just not as strong as you though.
You are one gifted with the talent?
Yeah, I think so. And I don't know how to express it. The pretty lady helps me, shows me how to do these things. Who shows you?
Well, I'm just an acolyte. The priests around here, they have different deities they worship who give them the gifts.
Oh,
But
cool.
I could find work for you, surely, if you're able to. There are plenty of people around here who are sick and need the healing and the help.
I could do that.
And so at that point, they lead you off to a different area then, and you kind of go into this place where kind of beds all over the place, and they're in there kind of taking care of them, casting spells on them, healing them. But there's definitely more people in there than these people can take care of, and they seem to just keep coming in by the moment.
Okay.
But yeah, you eventually find yourself healing.
Okay.
So with that, you all have jobs. We are kind of gonna like speed things up and go through a month worth of work. So
That thing we made the adventure to avoid. Fuck.
Now, I do have an appointment on the next day to go read some books.
yes, we will get to that.
Okay.
So while we are doing this, if you guys can think about what you want to do on a day-by-day basis, you are in a city. You don't have to work all day. There are things you can do. You are going to earn gold as you work, so obviously you can restock yourselves. We will figure out how much you work here in a moment, but we'll go ahead and jump to Billy. Does anybody tag along with Billy?
No, I'll work that day.
Nope.
Okay.
I will also be working that day
Same.
because spell books are very expensive to replace.
All right. And what about Lex?
What was the guy's name again for the blacksmith? Tort, was it?
The
The
blacksmth at your
Dwarf. Yeah,
at Tigrim.
Tigra. I was gonna go to Grim and say, did you want to ask to see if he can do apprenticeship along with work so we can learn some blacksmithing skills, or you just want to continue working while we're trying to get gold and stuff like that?
Yeah, doesn't hurt to ask.
So yeah, I'll go up to Torg and say, are you willing to take in apprenticeship or apprentice to teach us your craft?
I do not really have. It's not that I am unwilling to. I just don't really have a way to do that, and I have lots of orders I must fill. It would unfortunately eat into my time. I could
Fair enough.
show you off hours, but that would be a very slow process.
I think we're more than willing to learn, and if we can help you ease those orders, we would help doing that as well. We're just looking, we're just looking for basic knowledge, and maybe in the future a little bit more advanced if we could. But right now
Well,
we're
if
just
you,
stuck.
If you are able to finish your daily tasks of moving things around and helping me with my stock, then I can show you some things.
I think with the two of us, we can probably
I
manage
think we
doing
can
that.
do this.
Then we could work this out. Yes, that is possible. So yeah, you guys, you can go off about your day. Billy, you as you were kind of leaving the night before, which I will say Arvio, knowing where, well, I guess you didn't know where Sheerbrick went, but
No.
you know where Grim and them were. You could have easily, gathered up with everybody and took them to the Glass Jackal, which is a tavern / inn that you know of.
Now, out of curiosity, what kind of establishment is this? What kind of people does this place cater to?
I
The
kind of
skip
actually
kids?
need to be right back. 1 second, sorry.
It's okay. Being inside of town, these are sketchy people come through, but it's more of just like the working class in here.
My kind of people.
But just so you guys did find a place to sleep for the night. But Billy, as you left, you were told when your appointment was, and you found yourself there early. You were greeted by the gnome, who goes and rings the bell. Eventually, somebody shows up, and they say that you're wishing to browse some books. And so they take you in. You've seen the place, obviously. It's just bookshelf upon bookshelf, row after row. And you look up, and there's like a second floor, and there's just more and more of them. And as they walk in, you kind of are guided through the bookshelves, through the maze, into the middle. And you just see this giant area with these chairs and these tables, and people are sitting there with books. And there's you notice that everybody who is not a gnome has a gnome accompanying them. But you kind of stand there, and your guide turns around and says, well, anything in particular that you are looking for?
I'm looking for a book on devils and the contracts that they sign.
Very interesting topic, but we have a few sections. If you wish, follow me.
And I will follow him.
Okay. So he kind of takes you in and finds a couple places. You see all kinds of books on the subject in these areas that he guides you to. They seem to be different authors and things, but I guess if you want to just give me a investigation check, see if you can find exactly what you're looking for. It takes you quite a while, and you kind of like look in one area, and you're like, no, this ain't it. And then you he guides you to a different area, and nah, this ain't it. Eventually, you find the spot, and you go through, and you've spent quite a little bit of time in here going through the books, but you find about 3 of them in this one particular spot, and you think that they'll be what you're looking for, and so you grab them, and he takes you back to the area with the tables, and you find yourself a place to sit down, and he kind of just stands there by your side, very keen on what you're doing, keeping his eye on you. But we will go ahead and say probably takes you a few hours to go through and find what you're looking for. And at which point, give me another investigation check to see how well you are able to find that. Okay. So kind of while you're doing that, just jump back. Is there anything else in particular anybody wants to do throughout the day?
Is it still the first day, or is it the day that Billy has the appointment? Yep.
Yeah, it's the day that he had the appointment.
Yep. Well, I guess just during the regular work, Philip will just pick up random books from time to time and see are the books in common.
You're working?
Yeah, while working, like finishing certain aisle and then just moving along, grabbing a book, having a look.
When you go to grab a book, the gnomes scold you very hardly. And hey, don't touch that. You do not have an appointment to see a book. You're just here to clean.
Okay, I'll continue cleaning then. I see.
Okay. Yeah, they're. If you want to look at books, you'll have to make an appointment up front.
Philip just nods.
Okay. So you guys go back to cleaning. You do notice there's tons of gnomes that are in here cleaning as well. Place being in the desert with open windows seems to get pretty dirty every day. So there's constantly fresh work for you all to do. But unless anybody, go ahead.
I will say that something Arvio would want to do as the month continues. Maybe like try to see if he can't check in on like his son. Being as in the same city, but no, he has to find them first, right?
Yeah. So go ahead and give me a investigation check, and we will come back around on that. But Billy, you spend most of the day in here looking for the books. Eventually you find books that you think are going to be good, and then you spend a while sitting there going through the books. So you do not have a day of work, but you do eventually find some details on devils and contracts. And it basically tells you that a lot of it you already know. So it gives you the whole devils love to make contracts. They are very keen on making them with anybody. That's usually the first thing they try to do is make a deal with you. They're very manipulative and sneaky in how they do it as well. Sometimes they make you think that you have no choice to pressure you into making a deal, and sometimes they make you think you're like in this very dire situation. I'm assuming that you're wanting to know about getting out of contracts?
Yes, that's the main thing that I'm looking for.
Okay, so eventually you kind of come across a part where it's like in the 5th book you're reading on the subject after having gone back and grabbed more, and mentions something about you can get out of contracts if the devil agrees to, or if the party is no longer present to collect the debt.
All right, so this is something that when we meet it back up at the end of the day in the tavern, I would going to need a moment to talk to everybody about.
Okay. Art, you are Sherbrick. You are offered a place to stay at the temple.
Okay. Well, I didn't. I'm assuming I went to the library really late already, and I didn't find anyone, so I stayed at the temple. But I'll head over there the next day and see if I see them.
Yeah, so you can find them and fill you in that where they're staying at.
Okay.
So, does anybody have anything they wish to do on this day?
I'm just gonna ask any of the priest acolytes. Why are there so many guards outside?
We have a rough relationship with the ruler of the city. We do not exactly agree with what he's doing, but he has not shut down the temples, and we would not be able to stop him anyway. So we just live in an uneasy truce. But they constantly have us under watch. I guess they suspect us to do something.
And then I'll ask, do you know if any of these people follow a pretty lady? Like, one of the...
Now, there's plenty of, I would guess, very desperate men who walk around town following pretty ladies.
No, one that gives them like abilities, like I can to heal.
Do you mean a deity?
Yeah, kinda, I guess.
I mean, there are plenty of deities devoted to beauty. A few gods, a few goddesses.
Do you know any of the people here that follow any of them?
I think we might have one priest who comes and goes, who is a follower of one of them.
Oh, is he here?
I could try to find them. I have not seen them today. No.
Oh. Okay, well, I'll keep an eye out then. And I'll just wait until one day that he shows up.
Okay. So that's our second day closes out. You guys eventually find your way back. Grim and Billy, you learn a little bit about Grim and Blacks, you learn a little bit about blacksmithing. Philip, RVO, and Art, while you're working in different places, you clean up and make a couple coin. And Billy, you spend the whole day kind of just researching. So everybody except Billy, go ahead and roll 2d10s.
Yay! 5. I had to stop rolling the GM. Oh.
Do I roll 1d10 for the 1 day of work?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, I forgot.
I'm just that's if this is
Obviously, too weak to mop properly, so he gets paid 2 and 3 for the days.
Alright, so you guys, for your days of work, you make 5 silver, 9 silver, 12 silver, 17, and 10 silver. Alright, so 2 days down. You awaken on your 3rd day.
well. This night, I actually want to. Once I see everybody, I want to actually tell them
Okay.
what I've discovered.
So as you kind of gather and you are in the tavern hanging out, you are asked to pay for your meals, but we won't worry about it. It's just like copper. So
I'll actually cast create food and water to
Okay.
cover meals. And if Billy wants to maybe try to sell that leftovers.
As you do that, RV just looks physically sad, like, ugh.
And I'll relate to everybody, guys. I did some reading in the library today, and there's a way that we can get out of the contracts. If the guy that we sign the contract with isn't alive to collect it, it's null and void.
But if
So-
we die, he still gets our soul.
But wouldn't it be worth it to try? I mean, granted, we need to get better at combat and equip ourselves well, but we should be able to do so. I mean, our souls aren't forfeit until we die, so we should at least. I think it's a viable alternative to going around murdering people.
Well,
I don't know what you guys think.
It does give us a reason to go back. We have a way to go back.
And I mean, Philip, I'm sure would. I mean, he's got my bagpipes. I'm sure Philip would love his axe, and I know Grim, his family heirloom, and I'm sure.
Are we all sitting down?
Yeah.
Where is Arville positioned in this?
probably
table?
right next to you, but the
Okay.
fact that I have to clarify that scares me.
As-
Strangling
Okay,
you.
as he says those words, Philip just kind of turns a little bit towards you, and kind of makes something in the air, kind of trying to show you something discreetly, and I guess you would have to make a perception check to determine.
can't. Do I have to roll an insight to decipher charades? Describe it to me audibly?
Do we
Sure.
all see this?
I
You
mean,
know what? Fuck it. My portent for the day is 20 and 17. I imagine this is important. I roll a 20 on an insight check.
oh, did you
You
know?
also try to
Yeah.
do sleight of hand, Philip.
Oh no, he's just kind of he tries to do it like kind of slowly, but his hands are shaking in a way, so it's kind of not very noticeable, but he's also not hiding it.
Okay, so I guess if everybody wants to make perception check, if he's not trying to hide it.
Not really.
But is he trying to just show Ario then? That's what it
I
looks
mean,
like,
yeah,
right?
he's turning towards Arvio to show it to him. Shubrick is on his way.
This guy.
Both Arvio and Sherbrick are both like, we understand.
Yeah, basically to exactly to Shubrick. Philip is clearly to you is trying to show that he needs to write something. He needs a pen, like anything to write something on the paper.
I take out a book and I just rip out the last page.
I'm back.
And I like kind of motion it over to you and give you a pen or inkwell.
Yeah. And he starts writing, but very like his hands shaking. So like he starts with N, and N is basically like covers half of the page. It's like Then he writes O
No.
and
It's like-
tiny T at the end, and underneath E. Yeah. And the T basically goes over the page and on the table.
So it's not.
Not yet. That's what he was
Not,
saying.
not yet. Okay. Not yet. Go
Mhm.
back or
And he,
not yet ready.
he nods to when you said it, not yet to go back.
Well, yeah, I agree with that much. I still need to raise, and he kind of like pull some numbers in his head. 260 gold in order to make a new deck. So, and that is not including components, which will run me further. At this rate, I'm never getting it back. And I swindled so many motherfuckers to get that. Ah.
By the way, Art, when we're done tonight, I'd like to just look at your dice.
My what? Huh?
Well, I was saying I'd like to look at Art's dice when we're done tonight.
Oh,
My dice.
Yeah. You know the typical GM. I think you got loaded dice. So when we're
Oh.
done, let me see him.
Yeah, because
This guy
Yeah,
has
but-
rolled.
but for you, it's not a class feature.
Okay,
That
well,
was-
dunk your whole computer in the water to fix it, see if they're loaded.
Yeah, I'll dunk your computer and see if it has any loaded sides to it.
I'll try that.
Okay, so conversation's done for the night.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Grim, basically, you missed that that Billy had found a way when he did his research on how to get out of the contract, and they were talking about it. You had anything particular you'd want to add to that?
No, not at the moment.
Okay. So you guys head to bed.
Also, you might want to roll 2d10 to see how much you made if you haven't done that already.
Oh yes.
Ooh,
Okay.
Silver.
So you make 15 silver total.
okay.
Alright, so you guys awaken, and it is your third day. You spread out, and you go about the things that you have obligations or whatever you want to do. So go ahead and just go through the list. Art, anything different you want to do today?
I want to see if I could. Is there a way for me to make an arcane focus in this holy temple?
You can give me a religion check. You believe you can. You know, it'd take time, kind of cut into your making gold, but you believe you'd be able to do it after probably like a week or so.
Okay.
All right. So, any Arvio?
I'm going to use today to do some investigation, which I guess I rolled an 11 on, didn't I?
Yeah. Yeah, so first few days you're kind of like scouting around. I mean, how close were you with your family? I mean, you
Not-
kind of found out and took off, right?
Yeah, I would say that the way I picture it in my head, Omaima was sort of just like the ex-girlfriend that just told him, by the way, this is your son. So he was like, they kind of ended up coming up with that plan. Again, this was still a vague. It wasn't just like immediately take off. It was more like, okay, I was still like the rush of, oh, these are a bunch of paternal emotions that I've never had before.
Would you have seen yourself spending time with them?
Maybe a little bit beforehand, but yes, sure, yes.
Okay.
To try and rekindle that because he needs to take a little bit of responsibility for that.
So you head back to where you remember kind of the area of town where she was, which is outside of town. But you head out there and you're kind of looking around. You find a couple people that are like, oh yeah, you know, she has some stuff. Don't know where she went. Couples they give you different various opinions where she went. And you kind of look into those over the couple days before you head back and go to work yourself. So with that, Billy.
But what? It was just she. Wait a minute. Okay, so returning just to this information, she had some stuff going on and then disappeared.
So for the 3 days you've been here, you kind of went back to where you remember she was, and the people who remember her tell you that like don't really know what happened. She just had stuff come up, and she like had to go somewhere else in town, and they haven't seen her since. She took her child with her, and a couple people kind of like, oh yeah, she told me she was gonna do this, but they point you in like vastly different directions.
Okay.
So you spent the last 3 days kind of just investigating those leads. I mean, this is a massive city. If somebody moved to the other side of town, unless they purposely made their way over here, chances of them seeing people that they used to bump into would probably be very slim.
Okay. And on the after 3 days, I'm going back to the library, and I have a new proposition for them to help raise more money. But we can go to Billy first, or whomsoever.
Well, I kind of figured that you were kind of like spending half your day doing this, and then you'd go back to the library and work. Unless you want to spend your full 3 days doing it, you just want to make money.
I'll go back to the library and work, but at some point, RVO is going to kind of like take a look at his income and be like, "This isn't sufficient," and he's going to like go up to the library. And it's like, okay, so I'm very grateful for the work you have given me. However, I would like to do more. I can cast magic. If there's any sort of arcane help that you need, hopefully for more money, I can certainly offer some services, my expertise, because quite frankly, my skills are wasted on janitorial work.
We don't really need any help with our brothers, but there's plenty of arcane establishments around the city. Probably, if you are able to cast magic, who would be more inclined to that type of help.
Interesting! I'm gonna go check this out.
Alright, so you kind of head out.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll say you spent your first 2 days kind of split searching and looking for your family, and then the third day you kind of looked for your family, went back to the library, and they pointed you towards the wizard's place. So we'll come back to that. If you're going to do that today, right?
Yeah, third day.
Okay, so while you kind of did all of that, Billy, what are you doing with your day?
Just working.
Okay, Drake or Grim.
Well,
There.
sorry. At one point, I'm gonna ask, see if I can find a place so I can actually work on some chainmail and probably work some more, even more upon the apprenticeship of the. But I'm sure that would take all day. Save up for some armor or something.
Basically, what he told you the first time, he says again. He just doesn't have extra forge or anvil, and he has too much work backed up to be able to do that. He'd be willing to show you a couple hours after he closes shop, but at that rate, he said it'd probably take you a year, maybe two, to make anything worthwhile. Just spend a couple hours.
Well, just be working for now.
He says, "Are you in need of gear?"
Yes.
I appreciate your help around here, and I do not wish you to think any different. But I mean, if you need coin and gear, there's always the arena. They definitely pay more there.
How's that work?
Well, as a free agent, you can offer yourself to fight, and you get a percentage of whatever the bet was.
It's not like life or death or anything.
It's just life and death. It's generally slaves and prisoners are kind of pitted against each other if the prisoners aren't executed in the town square, and those who die, they get added to the army.
Is it like with the weapons, am I going to be locked into it where I have to go until I die, or I can just do one fight and get out of there?
As a free agent, I believe you can kind of just do whatever you want. I do believe they provide their own weapons and gear, so everything's kind of fair and equal.
Interesting. I'll check that out. Thank you.
He kind of nods, and he goes back to you notice he's just making things like scissors or shears, I guess, and other things that would be useful in town life. He doesn't really seem to be making weapons and armor or things like that.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna tell Lex I was thinking about doing this tournament at least once.
Yeah, I mean, you would have been around if you wanted to hear that conversation, Lex.
Yeah, I kind of heard it from Arvio that there was a coliseum that we can go to earn more coin than what we're doing.
Yeah, eventually I was gonna ask.
Yeah, there is something I did want to talk to the blacksmith with. After seeing him, just the type of work that he's doing is just common utensils, tools, that type of stuff, correct?
Yeah.
During our trainings, I would ask him to see if there's any way that if he can teach me how to make Tinker's tools in any way, the basic constructs of Tinker's tools.
He happens to have Tinker's tools kind of part of the stuff he makes. It's not exactly high on his list, but you eventually get to showing you how to make them.
Okay. Yeah. And I'm assuming that would be less time than doing chainmail, for an example.
Yeah, well, he'd be spending the whole day doing that, and you'd kind of be helping him and learning as he did it, because it's something he sells. It's just if you want to learn things that he doesn't sell, that's where it's going to take time.
Yeah, I want to learn how to make tools in that aspect because Tinker's tools, lockpicks, all that type of shit, we're going to end up needing it eventually. But Tinker's tools for Lex is something that he kind of needs.
Yeah, he's more than happy to teach you that.
Okay.
It's gonna take a while for you to really learn how to do it, but yeah, he'll show you as he makes them.
Is there any way I can make a deal with him? Like, as he's showing me how to make it, can I pay for the tool set in some way through either time or a little bit of my work going to that?
He says you're free to buy them if you want.
Okay. I was trying to use it as a workforce, but yeah, that's fine. I'll buy them.
Yeah, well, if you want to, just give up your coin in exchange, it's basically the same thing, really. But yeah,
Pretty
you
much,
can do
yeah.
that.
Okay.
Okay, so yeah, he kind of helps shows you over time how to do them, and so this be kind of the first day you're doing it, and he basically he goes through and makes them, and he's talking to you about the process and the steps, and then seeing how Grim is there. Like the next time he makes them, he kind of has you do something and has Grim do something, so you're kind of making them on your own as he oversees it.
Okay. Cool.
Philip, what are you doing
Yeah.
on this third day? Working?
So Philip starts working, but as the shift goes to an end, before leaving and going for a rest, he would attempt to book a reading as well. But he'll be using sign language to kind of insinuate that.
You wish to read a book?
Yeah, Philip notes.
Okay. So you kind of hint that you want to do that, and he takes you up and tells the person, and he says, "We could have somebody perhaps guide you around before we close."
And he kind of motions like a praying motion in his hands, and as a thank you. And he follows the person.
He kind of looks at you and nods, and he takes out the book and he writes in it, and then so as your shift comes to an end, he does eventually get somebody to come, and they take you back and they ask you. They kind of do the same thing you did with Billy. They took you to the area where people are reading. At this point, it's empty because they're closing, but they did this as a favor, and they ask you anything particular.
And he motions in trying to replicate what he did in Tavern, kind of writing motions. So he wants to write something. He wants to write what he wants to read.
Go ahead. I guess give me a performance.
Okay.
See how well this guy understands you.
Yeah, easy, but I'm trying.
Are you doing it finger gestures or?
Yeah, just like
Jesus
sign language.
Christ.
That's what I'm. Yeah, performance.
Do you?
7.
Fuck.
Fuck.
Did you take that language?
I mean, yeah, go on.
Kind of looks at you and he says, I don't understand. Can you speak?
He grabs his throat and kind of looks down and slowly nods, not kind of sure whether that's true or not. He doesn't really understand his current position in this.
I believe. I mean, what I took from that is you want to know how to exercise your fingers. Is that right?
He shakes his head and again tries to notion writing on a table.
Did you say Billy's? You brought Billy with you?
I do not recall this.
No,
never mind. I misheard.
That's all right.
I mean, all the books here already have stuff written in them. Are you looking for a book to write in?
Okay, he drops the whole pen thingy, and instead now he points to his mind.
So you want a book about heads?
And he nods to that, actually. I would say that's the closest they got so far.
Okay. lots of books on that subject. I guess this will be a long night. I guess follow me, and he kind of takes
Yep.
you off, and he starts showing you books. So you can go ahead and give me an investigation.
Okay. Do you want me to tell you what I'm exactly looking for?
Yes.
So Philip is kind of looking for a book about mind, emotions, and peace, kinda. So sort of like a meditation therapy thingy.
Okay.
Yeah, investigation. 13.
It takes you a while, and eventually you're like the only ones in here. There's still lots of gnomes moving about, but you spend a good time in here before you come across something that it's not exactly, that would be more, I guess, like spiritual, religious type stuff, but you do find a book in the sections he's taking you to that kind of talks about like the state of the mind and how it can be altered and stuff like that, and that would be about the closest you can find.
That would do for now.
Okay, so he grabbed the book and he takes you back to a table and you sit down and read it. Anything in particular you're trying to learn, or is this just character?
Basically, Philip's mind is kinda not particular. Saying shattered is a really strong word. I would say he's very lost and he's finding it hard to formulate what he feels because he has extremely mixed emotions about things he never felt before, like hate, grudge, anger, distraction, racism. he's very torn inside, so he kind of tries to calm his mind and understand those feelings and sort of learn how to essentially talk again.
It's funny. I would say, if you're having these emotions, I guess you could probably talk it out.
Yeah, but then again, do you? Okay, yeah, but do you want? That's the thing. Do you want Philip to suddenly shout, "Blood kill, love"?
That would be progress.
That's. I mean, yeah, that's why he doesn't really say anything and tries to figure it out himself.
Yeah, we've made much progress since this therapy session.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
give me. You can give me an investigation check.
All right.
As you sit here combing through the book.
Investigation. Yep, that's 13 is my favorite number.
So it takes you a while, but you find some stuff. Again, it's not exactly the book for that subject, but you find some things that talk about like mental stability and how the mind works and how the mind, kind of processes that kind of stuff and how it can come out in emotions and things. Nothing very therapeutical. It's more scientific, really.
But it's something to start with. Okay, fine.
Exactly. So you guys all eventually make your way to the tavern, except for Arvio and Philip, who are pursuing their things. Is there anything you guys wish to talk about while you're at the tavern tonight?
Hey Billy.
Yes.
Next time you have a chance, I got the glowy thing off of me, and I feel much better. If you want, I could take you to this temple that I've been helping at. They could help you.
You think I could do that on my way to work tomorrow?
Yeah, I think so.
That might be helpful. Although it has been nice to be glowy, but this just doesn't feel that great anymore.
I know, I feel much better without it, but I do wish that I could have still been glowy, but just feel better. But
did we find out, does the Coliseum or the arena do a whole day thing, or is it like day and night? Is it constantly going? Do we know any hours of that, or no?
If you guys wish to head over there after your work day and check into that, you just won't be at the tavern right now.
Oh, I probably would have asked like the tavern innkeeper or something if they knew anything about like how does the lights constantly go out through the night, or is it a like only during the day, certain times?
So the gentleman that runs the establishment, very gaunt, again olive-skinned human, looks to be about in his like 40s or so. But he tells you that they kind of run them all the time. There's more of a crowd, and so the more bigger attractions are done during the day. But this town never really sleeps. What he tells you.
It kind of figured as much. Also, I heard there's as a free, what do they call them? Free trade, I can't remember it. Free agent. Is there like a fee that we have to pay to get in? Admissions fee or anything like that, or?
Kind of smiles this insidious smile and says, "Your entry fee is your life."
It's an interesting thought. Thank you.
And just nods and goes back to what he was doing.
I'll go to Grim and ask him, well, what do you think of the Coliseum for tomorrow? Do you want to go check it out and see what we can do, or do you want to continue working?
I do want to try it.
I feel we should probably stop by the blacksmith to let him know that we won't be working for the day. At least give him that credit, and then we'll head off to the Coliseum for the day and see what's going on.
Sounds good to me.
All right. So you guys eat and have your conversations that are not of too much importance for right now. But Arvio, you going of the directions you were given, eventually find this giant. It looks like it's made out of stone, but it's all black, and you can't really determine the diameter of it. But it's this massive tower that just goes up and up and up and up into the sky. It's not the tallest building, but it definitely stands above all the buildings around it. And at the very top, you just see like this kind of cap on it. Very typical, very what you would expect to be a wizard tower. As you stand there looking at it, though, you don't see any door or anything.
So just to be clear, this is... Oh my god, excuse me, I think I'm about to call it. No, okay, well, fine. Damn it. When he said, oh yes, go to the wizard's place, we might have work for you, did he bother to elaborate what he meant by the wizard's place other than the tower?
Well, he told you that there was a lot of arcane establishments in town, and I assume that being interested, he would have just directed you to the nearest one.
Okay, well, here's me checking if I bothered to... I didn't decide to remember detect magic, so fuck me. So I just kind of, is there any markings that would indicate a door-like area? Oh,
give me a perception check.
Okay.
So you kind of walk around this. It takes you a little bit to walk around the outside of it. You look, trying to find a door or window. You do not see any of any type on this. It just seems to, it's not smooth. It's definitely got texture to it, and there's the cracks, or not cracks, but like stones, bricks put together. You can see where they meet. So it's not all one smooth stone, but you don't see like any door marking or window marking.
At this point, Arvio is just kind of like pacing around it and just starts getting frustrated. It's like, fuck's sake. And it just knocks on the side of the tower. Hello? Is there anybody home?
Alright, so you kind of rap on the stone and it hurts your hand a little bit. Nobody answers. You're kind of standing there for a moment.
You know what? I'm just gonna talk to the wall because this last week has got me frustrated. Alright? Clearly just talking at the wall. Here's the thing. I need a job. I need to get my spell book back because I literally lost it in hell. So, for fuck's sake. Whatever. Fuck it. Is there anybody around that's just staring at me as I'm yelling at this tower?
People moving about. Nobody really like stops and stares at you. You do notice there is a figure that is standing there motionless, kind of staring.
No,
you also you also know this to just be one of the town guards.
Yeah, I was about to be like, are the town guards sentient at all?
You ever bother to talk to one?
Probably. I grew up here.
You would know that they are not sentient.
Well, shit.
They do not respond to you. They seem to only respond to their captains, leaders, whatever you want to title them.
Okay, so I have this tower ahead of me. It has a bunch of textures all over it. No open way.
Yeah, it's just rough stone. It's not smooth. It's definitely been like chiseled out and stacked here.
Okay. I'm not giving up on this. I'm going to try and get one of the passerby and be like, I have a question for you, person. Do you know who owns this tower and how I could possibly get his attention?
I do not. I avoid looking at that place. I avoid looking at all those places.
Interesting. Why is that? Is it the necromancy or is it something else?
Your shield only allows wizards here who agree with him. We avoid them. They if they're of like mind.
Fair point. You can go now.
And just kind of nod and continue about their way.
I will wait at this tower. I am very stubborn about this.
Okay, how long you guys sit there and wait?
I will fall asleep here if I need to, because this definitely pays more than the library.
You sit there and you do eventually fall asleep. You see nobody like approach the place and nobody leave the place. Nothing happens. Eventually, drowsiness overtakes you. So, with all of you having done your deeds for the day, going to sleep, those of you who did work, you can go ahead and roll a 1d10, and that's what you get in silver.
Oh. I
So
have
question.
a whole gold piece.
Since
Yes.
I am using spells for healing, am I still getting the D10 for silver?
You can go ahead and add 10 onto your roll, since you're kind of doing a higher duty for them.
Okay.
So you're always at the base, and you can re-roll your ones.
Okay. Thank you.
Because you're at the base doing high tier.
Okay. So would that come for the other ones as well, the past ones?
Yeah,
Okay, cool.
since you started doing that pretty early on.
Just to clarify, 10 silver pieces is 1 gold piece, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
So you guys, everybody awakens, and we'll just go through the process. Art, you and Billy are gonna head off to the temple.
Yep.
Yes.
All right. So you're eventually led there. Billy, Art knows who to talk to, and you're guided to the priest, who offers for. At first, he offers for 100 gold to take care of you, but I'm assuming that Art or Sherbreck steps in and says that he will work that off for him.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you kind of go through the same process where you're taken out into the open altar area, and they heal you, and the diamond dust is kind of blown onto you, and it glows, and you notice as you look at yourself that your glowing has gone away, and you no longer feel exhausted as you had the last 3 days.
Oh. Oh, wow. Wonderful. Thank you. Such a weight. But I'm not glowy anymore. Oh.
I know. I missed it too.
Oh well, I guess I need to get off to work, Art. Thank you.
I'll see you later.
Right. So Billy, you make your way back, and you just working through the day.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Arvio, you wake up, you find yourself laying there. You definitely see people kind of look at you as you walk by, but good thing you don't really have anything worth stealing on you, because who knows what would happen.
I'm going to spend the day investigating how to get into this goddamn tower.
Okay. What in particular are you doing?
At this, good question. Because I need to get paid way more than I currently am in order to get any semblance of my stuff back. I don't want to go back to the library. I just don't want to go back to the library.
You go back.
Just work? No, I said I don't. I do not want to do that.
Okay.
He is done with mopping the floor. I'm gonna go around to any people maybe selling magic items. Maybe they have delivered to the tower before, or like spell components and stuff like that. May know how to get a job in there and actually paid a decent wage, a wizard's wage, as it were.
Okay. You can give me an investigation check.
Hang on, I'm going to roll something quick. Seeing if I can't cheese this. I would like to have roll a 20 for that investigation.
Okay. So you kind of go around and you're talking to different people, and some tell you that they're not really sure. Others say, oh yeah, we have people come from there every once in a blue moon to buy stuff from us. They say they're not really sure how they get in. But eventually you kind of come across somebody who they tell you they're not sure, but they remember as one of these individuals was dealing with them. They mentioned something about magic. The place is very attuned to magic.
Over there.
Okay. So the place is very attuned to magic. Meaning, if I cast magic on it, it will react to that.
They kind of shrug and say, I'm not sure in particular what it means, but they just seem to imply that they pretty much know what's going on magically in the area.
Okay, and I'd like to imagine this is the 5th guy I've talked to. And I'm like, okay, so I have a question for you, good man. If I would like to get a job as an arcane person, because I already asked the library this, and they said go to that tower. And to actually start earning a wage to, afford wizard things, which, as you know, is very expensive. What the hell do I have to do, and where do I have to go to make that happen?
Kind of shrugs their shoulders, and there's many magical establishments around town. I do not know what they do. I usually just sell goods to them.
Well, can you give me? Can you point some of them out so I can go apply for jobs in these places?
Well, the nearest one, and they kind of give you directions to it, and as you kind of sit there thinking about it, it's the one that you were at.
Well, what if I don't want to go to the nearest one? Because the nearest one doesn't open.
But they're all the same, but I could give you directions to different ones if you wish.
Okay.
So they kind of explain to you 2 other ones that are further away.
Cool. Actually, I could use one thing. Do you happen to have any adhesive?
I do not.
Okay, I'm gonna search around for some sort of adhesive, like maybe a post-it note or something or some sort of tape or glue, because I'm leaving a post-it note.
Okay. You eventually find some like gummy-like stuff. It's the closest you can find, but you're pretty sure you could like stick it to the stone and stick the paper to it, and it would stick there. Couple copper for it.
Cool, great. I'm gonna take.
Okay.
Yep.
And you make your way back to the nearest tower, or you go to a different one?
I go to the nearest tower.
Okay, you find yourself back at this tall black stone building.
Cool. I kind of like stick the piece of gum onto it. I write out a little message on the side, and I just slap that shit on the side of the tower. I'll send you what I actually wrote, so that we can actually get on to other people. And then I just kind of really annoyed at this situation. Just go back to the library because I need money, and it's.
All right, so you do that kind of in the early morning, and then head back to work. Grim, Lex, you guys hanging out?
Well, were we gonna go to the arena today?
Yeah, let's first stop at the blacksmith and tell him that we're gonna go ahead and take an interest in the arena today, so we won't be in for work, so he's not expecting us.
Yeah, we can do that.
He thanks you for it. He's very appreciative of it.
But I'll let him know that we'll probably be back in the future to help out some more and to learn some more knowledge about blacksmithing.
And as you say that to him, he says, well, if this is your intentions, I hope it comes true. And he just nods to you.
I'll nod back and then start making the way to the Coliseum.
All right, so you make your way through town, and you eventually come into this large open market, what looks to be an open market, and you are immediately taken in by the fact that there's like this giant stone stage that's about 10 feet above the ground, and as you kind of look at it as you're walking towards this massive building that you take to be the Coliseum, you notice like there's people up there chained together and chained to posts, and you notice there's like carts with people inside of cages on them. Not very hard to tell that this is some kind of slavery trading area. And you take in, there's like orcs up there, gnolls, you see humans up there, you see elves, dwarfs, every single race you could probably think of. There's mostly humans more than anything else, but you see just about every race up there. And there's also giant crowds out there as well who are paying gold and exchanging and doing things, and they're obviously of all the different races of the city. But you make your way towards the giants area, and as you walk up, you're kind of like this little kiosk outside, and the person, as you're approaching, you look interested in the area, they will wave you over, and you see this kind of plump, balding gentleman with this scruffy beard, and he's like, welcome. You interested in the shows today? We have many people to bet on, lots of money to be made.
I actually want to join.
I see.
Is there a team 2v2, or is this single bouts?
You two wish to fight together?
If that's possible.
Free agents, I take it then, not
Yes.
master and slave?
No.
Well, yes, we have plenty of duo fights if you wish to do that.
Yeah.
Well, I could get my one of my bouncers here, take you down to the pits, and we get you equipped. You know how everything works, yes?
No.
Give us the
not
rundown.
exactly. Yeah.
Well, obviously, agreeing to fight, you do realize it is a fight to the death, right?
Correct.
And we we expect you to carry that out, as I rest assured that the person fighting you will have no hesitation in doing so themselves.
I have no hesitation to let them live.
He nods. Well, for victory, we will give you a percentage of the bets, and for loss, well, you get to become one of the soldiers of the king, Hirsild, the prestigious title, some would say. But if you agree with those terms, I see you have no gear, which is good because we provide our own.
Well, is there any other rules? Is it just I can use anything?
Well, down below they will ask you what you wish to fight, like style of fighting, swords, spears. We have animals you can fight against too, and we
Okay.
also have slaves. The slaves make for better money, but the animals, some people don't like to kill others, but have no qualms killing an animal.
If you don't mind me asking, on a typical bout, how much does the fighter usually would get?
You get about 10% of whatever the bets were.
Okay. And I'm assuming that as long as the crowd likes you, the more money that you would bring in.
He kind of smiles and says, indeed, you can make a name for yourself. You could make a lot of money here.
So, out of character here, I just watched The Gladiator before I came in here.
Are you not entertained?
I was just thinking of that.
I was thinking more Oblivion Arena, but
Oh, well, I was thinking Gladiator
was.
Spartacus.
I was thinking of both.
he kind of had one of the guys, you notice that as he kind of motions one guy over. There's lots of people here moving around, but there are these big gentlemen who are just kind of standing there, arms crossed, and they have scars all over them. And he kind of motions him over, and he whispers something to one of them, and he turns and, all right, if you wish to fight, follow me. And he turns and just starts walking, regardless if you follow or not.
Follow.
Okay.
Yep, followed.
So he takes you down below, and he takes you into this room, and you see kind of like this caged wall, and you look on the other side of it, and you do see what are like cells of people, and you take it that these are like the slaves and prisoners that they have fight, and then you are taken to this room, and it's this big room, and there's benches and stuff in it, and you see a few people in here, not as much as the ones in the cages, but definitely some big guys in here, and they're just hanging out, practicing on like some of the dummies and stuff down there. There's a giant like bathtub in the middle, but it's pretty massive, about the size of a hot tub, say, and it's full of water. As you look at it though, you've pretty sure that people have washed off in here after the fights. Does not look to be healthy water, but there's definitely areas and stuff, and he leads you over, and there's a gentleman who's kind of going around talking to people, but as he sees you being escorted by this burly gentleman, he kind of comes over, and this guy, long gray hair, and is very thin, no facial hair, and he's pretty much a stick. He's very skinny, and as he talks, you notice that he got like these crooked, nasty teeth, and he's like, welcome. Couple more free agents to fights, yes?
That is correct.
Very, very well then. Do you have any idea of what types of fighting you wish to do?
Swords is fine.
Swords, one-handed, two-handed, shield and sword, or?
Can I get a great sword by any chance?
We have two-handed
So
swords, yes.
two-handed, yeah.
All right. Particular type of armor.
I don't need one.
I see. That will definitely make you an interesting one in the fight. Of course,
Well-
you kind of already have that look about you.
What
yes,
kind of
this
type
is-
of
this-
armor that we can have?
We have heavy armor, medium armor, light armor, you name it.
I guess we can go with some chainmail if you have it.
We have plenty. And he walks you over to an area, and he shows you these great swords that they've seen combat. they look like they were served the purpose of killing somebody, but they've definitely seen combat. And he kind of takes you over to where the chainmail is and where the padding is, and he shows you that as well. And you can see that this armor has definitely been beaten on and cut and taken damage as well. But again, it will still serve its purpose to protect you.
Alright, sounds good.
You find that there is no place in here for modesty. It seems the people just kind of strip down where they are and get dressed. So,
I'll look.
You guys-
Yeah, I'll try to find the best looking one, then try to put that on.
all right. You managed to find what you think to be a decent looking one.
Something funny I just noticed. No place for modesty. There's a human and a robot. I don't think either of them are terribly concerned about.
Well,
Lex is just bare ass naked.
Yeah.
I'm not afraid of anything, so.
I like to think that on the back of Lex, where his ass is, there's like a little crease that kind of shows where his butt's at.
That's
We're
okay,
Out in the
full.
wind.
yeah. Okay.
Like
I'll
most of
just
these
add that
people.
to my
Sorry,
head
I know I'm
guess.
talking over everybody,
There you
but
go.
a lot
There
of
we
people
go.
are
There we go.
new
For better,
here.
for worse.
Arvio, it's like right at his face.
All right.
His ass. Oh.
Alright, let's continue.
Yeah, you guys, you hang out down there for a bit. You kind of get to know the others. They don't have free agents fight each other, so they're very friendly with you. One of them seems to be a very popular guy there who makes lots of gold doing what he does. He fights other prisoners and slaves. Well, not
What kinda-
he fights prisoners and slaves, but he tells you.
Yeah, go ahead.
He
Sorry.
tells you that he makes a pretty good profit off this. Sometimes he walks away like thousands of gold from the tournaments.
I would ask him, do you have any pointers on having the crowd like you more?
The more violence, the more bloody, and the more destructive you are, the more they cheer. And cheering is what it's all about. And he just smiles. And you notice he's missing a lot of his teeth, which you think probably been from being bashed in the face or something.
Just nod.
So while you guys are down there hanging out, we'll jump over to Philip Greenwood.
Mhm.
What are you doing today?
Well, considering that the visit to the library later on had mixed results, Philip will continue working, and after work, instead of attempting to read something, on his way back to the tavern, he will actually stop by some random temple. Maybe not necessarily the one that Shubrick went to, but like somewhere on the way back to the tavern, he'll just go to the random one he stumbles upon.
Yeah, they're kind of scattered throughout town, but you definitely walk by one. You see the same site that Sherbrick originally saw. This one's not as big, not as fancy as the one he's at, but there's just like this open area that's covered with stone, and across from it are these undead guards just kind of standing there facing that direction. I want to say they're watching it. They don't seem to do anything, but they're facing it. And you make your way inside. You're quickly greeted by an acolyte. Seems to be a young female tiefling who comes up and says, welcome. Is there anything we can do for you?
Okay. I need to make a little roll here. Please. Oh god, thanks. I
The Grudge? Sorry.
That's what it sounded like, yeah.
peace.
You need peace?
I seek peace.
You're either saying you need peas or you need peace. I'm assuming you need the later. Is that a fair assumption?
Yes, he nods.
Well, please come with me. We can talk. We can pray.
Oh, that's great.
And so she leads you
Mhm.
kind of towards the front, towards the altar, and like a lot of other people. She sits you down and she's just kind of standing there talking to you about the deities and how they can help you and praying to them for guidance and stuff like that.
I mean, he'll give it a go. He'll listen to the instructions and then give it a fair go and see if something happens.
Okay. So yeah, you sit there for a little bit, and they I mean, nothing immediately happens, but you know, she prays with you, teaches you how to pray, talks about all the different deities, and just kind of goes on like that. You ever find yourself back at work, or?
I mean, after staying there for a little bit, I'll probably because I would do that after work, not before work. So after finishing now, I'll probably get some sleep and then go back to work the following day.
Okay.
Yeah.
So those of you who worked a regular day, I will feel as you pray, being that you are a paladin of a god, even though it's unbeknownst to you, you do kind of feel like a relief and a burden lifted from you. But nothing like life changing though.
Okay, small step. That's fine.
It does do something for you. So for those of you who worked, aside from Grim and Lex, go ahead and roll for your silver for the day.
Okay.
I should have.
You can roll ones, by the way.
Yeah.
We can.
Oh, great.
Are you shitting me?
I arrived late to work, but fuck, I mopped up well.
Oh boy.
Can he re-roll that still or no?
Yeah.
No,
No, you.
Okay.
You sure?
Yeah, you can
Okay, go for
keep
it.
re-rolling till you get a 2.
Yay.
There you go. 3.
Okay.
Okay, so Lex and Grim, do you fight slaves or you fight animals?
At this point,
We
I was
in
gonna
need of
say
money.
I don't care what I'm fighting. I'm just like basically just want to get it done.
You are told that you will get the most money
I'm
fighting
reckless.
slaves and prisoners.
Yeah, we'll fucking kill slaves, I guess.
Yep.
Okay. I need both of you to roll a 1d100. And we're basically going to do this that if you get a 1, you are dying. So you guys manage to fight survive. So let me do some math here. I need to make rolls as well.
If I can use rage too to help dampen the damage, would that help as well?
Well, we're rolling numbers. It's
Yeah.
gonna be 50. Like, well, not 50-50, but
Yeah, I was just wondering if I could do that to help increase my odds a little bit.
Yeah, if you do rage, you can roll it with advantage.
Oh, I can.
it's
Cool.
because I was gonna say I can use my ability to echo
Yeah.
too. So
If you wish, then that would also give you advantage. Anything you
Yeah.
can think of that would help you.
yeah, I'm
Like
I said,
I
I'm going
said-
full on out on this, and I don't care. It's like
Yeah.
my
Yeah.
echo is gonna go.
As long as you don't get a 1, so basically there's 1% chance you're gonna die.
Yeah,
Because obviously we're not gonna sit here and do every single combat.
right. I
Yeah.
understand. Yeah,
I just think like if you roll 100, you would get like extra points off of that. Is what I'm assuming. Like one of us just kills everybody or some shit like that. So
like I picked
just
up
wanted
the
to make
slack
sure.
from you on this one.
yeah, you definitely did. So I just
Oof.
one. Oh shit!
I mean, technically that was advantage, so I got the 84, and you got the 52.
I can only use rage 3 more times for disadvantage. So how many fights do you want to do?
I mean, my guy's gonna be up 24/7. I can just keep
Yeah.
casting him out. Well, we can do one more
Well, you can do 3.
or 3 just to see how we're doing. If the second one is not good, doesn't go well, then we can stop.
Yeah.
We are
You guys
risking
could
our
probably
life.
do like a total of 5 a day. So
Oh, 5 a day? Let's just go for the max then. Do you want to do that? Let's go up to 3. That
I was
way
gonna say let's go to
we
3
have,
to see
we
how
have-
we do.
yeah,
Because it's gonna be strenuous on us. That's for sure.
yeah, for sure.
So
Yeah,
do
so
you,
go ahead. Give me. I guess right now, give me 2 more D100s. This will be your advantage rolls, and this will be your second fight of the day. Okay. And then go ahead and give me 2 more.
Jesus.
I'm getting tired.
Right, so you guys manage to, you don't go back to back, you do kind of go down, and you go into the under area as you're sitting there, like, resting between fights as other people go up and fight. You do notice, like, people come down and wash all the blood off of them in the pot, in the giant tub in the middle. You are offered pitchers of water to drink, and at 1 point as well, since you spent most of your day here, you are offered some food.
I
Not
had
great food.
gladly take it. It's better than nothing.
But you managed to walk away from that together 250 gold.
Heck yeah, there we go. I mean, it is against our lives, and we're
It
doing
is.
good all day, so.
So split it up, 100 gold piece then? Between the two of us.
He said
right?
150.
I thought it was
250
250.
together. Yeah.
Yeah.
So in total, you both made 250, and you can split that however you want.
Yeah,
It's right
let's
down
split it
the
in half, yeah.
Yeah.
125.
All right. So spending half the day here, having 3 fights. You did have some high rolls there. You definitely got some cheers in some of the fights you did. But tired, exhausted, having cuts and bruises and all sorts of stuff from your combat. You kind of make your way back to the tavern. I assume everybody is there at this point.
Yep.
As we walk in, I go up to the innkeeper and I buy Grim a beer or a strong alcoholic beverage. Say this is for pretty much carrying me through the day. You have proven yourself time and time again. Thank you.
No one expects the small guy to do it.
Oh, you're no small guy, I give you that.
I'm the average. It's like I might be a little tall, but I'm just normal built, like a normal human. So you never expect it from the little guy. It's like I'm still a big beefcake, but yeah.
You walk in with a whole bunch of fucking bruises and shit, basically.
The rest of you who are hanging out in the tavern at this point, getting ready to call it a day, you see these 2 walk in. They're back in their clothes. They don't let you take the armor or weapons with you, but
Oh, I have figured, yeah.
you see them walk in, and you definitely like watch them walk up, and you see Lex pull out like a decent sized pouch and like dig through some gold and throw some up there in the counter as he buys some L.
Yeah.
Who'd you guys rob?
We robbed a couple people of their souls.
Just nod.
And that's all I'm gonna say as I sit down and drink.
I'll buy
Cool,
everybody
where can
else some alcohol as well.
Why can I also do that? Because at this point, I just want my fucking spellbook back, and nobody sold the man to me more than my spellbook.
Well, how much do you need?
200 for just the book, 260, not even counting components.
I give him 50 gold.
I'll look around for everybody else. Who else is in debt?
Well, I mean, all of us technically.
I'm talking about in this town that's keeping us here for work.
Financially.
I owe 200, but I could maybe go with you guys.
I'll give you 100 gold to pay off the debt.
Thank you. I could maybe go with you guys tomorrow.
Well, if you want to see what we're doing, I don't really advise it, but yes.
Do you want to risk your life? That's the thing.
I mean, he can come watch and bet on us and get money.
He could, but again, I don't know if that's... Is that even legal to do that?
I would love to do that thing that you
They
just
don't know. They don't know that we're friends with them.
Alrighty, we'll do that.
Because it's not like I can cheat.
I'll kind of look over at Philip and say, "Do you want anything? Do you need anything?"
He just shakes his head.
I will kind of put my hand on his shoulders and say with time, he'll heal. Relax. And just pat his shoulders.
Right. So you guys round off your day.
Before the end of the day, though, can I go shopping for one thing?
Sure.
I'm gonna look to buy a sling.
Sling?
With ammo.
I definitely find a sling and some bullets. Rather large town. Trying to look it up, but roll 20. Like, does it really tell you prices? Do you have prices on hand?
One silver piece for the sling. I'm not sure about the ammo.
Ammo's like rocks and stuff like that, I assume, where you can do
Yeah.
a ball bearing, maybe. I don't know if that would work though.
We'll just say, for the sake of not slowing down the game, be 50 copper.
Okay.
If it's less than that, then we can adjust it later. If it's more than that, then you got a good deal.
Okay.
But with that, you guys continue off for the night, seeing as we're half an hour away from our end point. Let's go ahead and kind of speed it up. We'll do 5 days at a time. So for the next 5 days, what does Art want to do?
He wants to go check out the Coliseum.
Okay, so I'll group you with Grim and Lex. Arvio?
How do I?
This is probably where
How do
my
I
character's gonna die.
work at a library, investigate where my son could be, and annoy Magic Place to hire me on so that I can afford my shit?
Without sleeping.
Here's a question, Arvio. Do you disclose any of this to us, or are you kind of keeping it in yourself?
Well, I think it would have been very noticeable that Arvio hasn't really been around for 4 days in a row. I think at this point. So the fact that he didn't get any questions when he showed back up was a little bit surprising. I mean, he'll see like, yeah, I'm trying to find. I guess if asked, he'll be like, yeah, I'm trying to get. I'm sorry, I was just distracted by something. Yeah, he's like, I'm trying to find my son. I'm trying to get into like the fucking magic area. I'm also working at the library. That's like my thing that I'm doing. Sure, he'll share that.
Okay, so Lex will say, if you're doing magic things, what have you achieved to get in there so far?
Get in where?
Get into the magic tower that you described.
Well, like, I've tried to like look at the runes on the outside, and it just nothing really is, screaming out at me. I would use detect magic, but I don't have my spells. I don't have my components, so I'm SOL on that.
Is there any way that I can make a check to be like, give him a hint of what I think he might need to do?
Roll me an Arcana check with.
I don't have anything with it, so disadvantage.
I was gonna say disadvantage, but I mean, you can just go ahead and roll straight Arcana. It's just gonna be a really high DC for you.
Yeah.
No, you don't really.
Magic things require magic
That's
things.
hilarious.
I don't know anything about it.
What's this he's talking about? You scratch your head.
Yeah, magic. The fuck? You use magic? I'll be like, just focus on one thing at a time. You're gonna wear yourself out faster than you think you are.
It sounds like Lex got this head knocked a little too much. Be thinking about that.
I did.
All right. So
Yeah,
you're just gonna kind of split yourself 3 ways.
fuck the library. 2 ways.
All right. What do you do at the tower?
At this point, I'm just going to check the arcade if there's anything arcane on the outside of it.
You give me an Arcana check. You go back to the same tower.
Yes, I've constantly been going back to the same tower. One moment.
You notice that like the gum stuff that you kind of stuck to it, put your note to, still stuck there, but no, you don't see it.
I roll a 15, by the way.
Okay. You kind of walk around and you look and
Well, a 15 plus 8, which would be 23.
all right. You don't see any like markings or carvings or anything. You can give me like an investigation check if you want to. You do notice that there is in the area seems to be the ground's different. Kind of like it leads from the road up to the building, but there's just a blank wall there.
Okay, so I kind of end up following that path.
All right. You follow it towards the tower.
Yep.
All right. Just leads to a blank wall.
Cool. You know what? Screw it. I'm going to try casting a spell. I'm going to cast Minor Illusion on this thing. See if anything happens. Because that's like the most harmless spell that I have, minus Mage Hand.
All right. Anything in particular illusion-wise you're doing?
A door, for God's
Okay. So you kind of cast the door where the at this point you kind of made out that it's the pathway where the path ends, and kind of stand there for a little bit. Nothing happens. So you kind of just like drop the spell. You're looking around in frustration. Also, you kind of hear like this crackling sound, and you whip your head back towards where the door had been, and this little square hole opens up, and you see a pair of eyes staring out of it, and like this long crooked nose, and then
finally!
could be a goblin looks out and says, "Yeah, you need something?
Hi, I want a job.
You want a job?
Yes.
We don't really have jobs here. You wish to talk to the master?"
Buddy, I'm a level with you. I'm a wizard. I've kind of run into a spot of bother where I didn't make a backup spell deck. Frankly, I would like a new spell deck, but I would also like to work it off. Is that sounds like something that we can arrange?
I'll level with you too. I really don't care, and it's not my decision. If you wish to talk to the master, I could go see if he is willing to entertain you.
That sounds great. Please do that.
And you hear the crackling sound again as the wall kind of just like melds back into solid stone again. You sit there for a little bit, and eventually you hear the crackling sound again, and as you turn, you see like this large split appear in the stone as it opens up into a square doorway, and you see this figure step out, very gaunt, very pale, and fair skin, but like very, very pale. And he looks over you, and you see like this charcoal hair kind of spill out from a hood that he has draped over his head, blocking the sun from his face. And he just stands there, stares at you, and
Kelvic's the
I hear you
other guy that I'm
seeking
playing with. So
some help.
Yes. And I would like to offer my aid in exchange.
What kind of aid?
I am skilled with the arcane. Specifically, I specialize as a diviner. If you have any use for people of my ilk in your temporarily in your fold.
We have lots of use for wizards. I guess come on inside. And he kind of just stands back and motions with this almost skeleton-looking hand into the interior of the place.
Fantastic. I go right in.
All right, so you step inside, and he follows in behind you, and the door closes, and you just see this same black stone that's on the outside makes up the inside, the floor, walls, and stuff. You see stairs that kind of curl up to other levels of the place, and very dark and dim in here, except
I'll
for
be
the
streaming
torches
this,
that seem to
every
be
Saturday
emitting some kind of green
my time.
lights.
You guys will
No
be awake in
flames are on them,
Aussie
just like a torch
Town.
that glows
Yeah,
yellow
that's not what I
or
meant.
green. And he motions for you to kind of have a seat onto a stone bench in the area. And he walks over. We do lots of work for your Sild. If you have no issue with that, we can find a place for you.
Not as of right now. No, I do not have an issue with that.
Very well then. And he kind of sits across from you. And to keep things short, he basically goes through how he wants you to do things and the type of task you will be expected to do. They can help you acquire your spell books and stuff like that. How you decide to make your spell book is of your own, but he definitely can put you to work if you wish to be paid. He offers you, depending on how well you do, between 30 and like 50 gold a day.
Fantastic. Sounds absolutely wonderful. I am totally down to clown for whatever you have to throw at me.
All right, so he sets you to work, kind of doing dark stuff, things that you as a wizard had not dabbled in before. And we will go ahead and you go ahead and give me another investigation as you look into your wife and kid as well.
Okay, cool. That's going to be another 15. Plus, it's going to be a 23.
Alright, so with that, you managed to kind of track down that she started working for somebody on the other side of town, was trying to make a life for herself. And being, you've only been here for 10 days, you haven't really found her, but you know that where she lives and frequents, so you can kind of check more in that area in the next 5 days.
All right. We narrowed down the search, and I'll be sure to share. Maybe not exactly the dark shit I'm doing. Maybe I'll leave that bit out, but the fact that I've gotten a much higher paying job as a proper wizard instead of a librarian, and that if they ask, that the search is going well.
You kind of learn that these that these towers are scattered all through town, and they're scattered in such a radius that they can kind of overlap each other, and they basically use them to keep watch on magic that goes on in town. And you also know that when people are killed, die, executed, whatever reason, they will bring the bodies here to be worked on and prepared for your Sild to bring them back to life.
All right, so it's much more of like so that they can triangulate or duelate where
Pretty much.
magic is coming from.
And they dabble in a lot of other dark stuff too. Some of it's secret that they don't tell you.
Of course.
So with that, jump to Philip.
Hmm.
What do you do for the next 5 days?
Oh, for the first 3 days, I'll continue working, and after work, he'll pop into the same temple, just not necessarily praying, but it's kind of meditating, kind of sitting there silently, exploring his mind for a while.
Okay.
And then on the 4th day, Philip will not show up at his work, and instead he'll go to a marketplace and look around for kind of like animal skins or like animal products in a way, particularly in look out for feathers if possible.
Yeah, you go ahead for the days you work. You can give me D10, see how
Yeah.
much silver you make.
That's gonna be
I'm just gonna figure out for you, Arvio, how much you make.
19.
Still been a
RVO
fantastic day.
Yeah, RVO, you over the 5 days you're working, you make about like 1,000 gold.
Okay.
They have you, yeah, you're making money, but they also have you doing some very, very messed up stuff. But you do it freely. That's the silver you get, Philip. But yeah, you manage to find a place selling feathers. You find all kind of animal products. There's like markets scattered all throughout the city.
Yeah, I would particularly look for perhaps like owl feather, if there is one.
And give me investigation.
Okay, investigation.
Damn.
It's very hard to find out here in the desert, but you do manage to find
Nice.
somebody who has like a bag of them.
I take out of my pocket the hold on, how much silver do I have right now? Because I converted the other ones to gold. I'll pull out 8 silver. Kinda show it on my hand, kinda nudging whether that will be enough to get a feather.
They tell you it'd only be 3 silver for the bag of them.
I'll give them 3 silver and take a bag.
All right.
Yeah, at the end of the day, I'll come back to the temple, and on the 5th day, I'll just stay in tavern and sit in where we usually sit and kinda just stare at one singular feather as if I kinda try to like kinda studying it in a way,
All right.
waiting for others to come back, you know.
Okay. So Billy,
Yes.
what are you doing for the next 5 days?
Billy seeing this all this money being made at the arena, wants to go there
Okay.
with them for the next 5 days.
Okay. So yeah, for you, Art, Grim, Lex, and Billy. Sorry, Art, Sheerbrick, you make your way to the arena, and you guys again, you can wear whatever you want. They tell you have to fight with the same weapons though. So you all use broadswords.
Yep, two-handed swords.
Is that
All of
gonna
us
be-
are using two-handed swords.
Is that going to be doable for Billy and Art?
I mean, I think they wanted to watch, but
Billy does not want to watch.
Sherbert was gonna bet.
Sheerbrick's in a bit. Okay.
Give him 100
Billy's gonna fight, but Billy is, even if they give him a weapon, he's going to throw it down and he's going to cast spells.
All right. Let's go ahead. Trying to do all. So, your first day, how many fights are you doing? And are you doing prisoners and slaves or animals?
Same
well,
thing, probably.
same thing, unless Billy says otherwise, or we're telling him we're kicking him out, and he's not fighting.
Okay. So, just for the sake of not having to like sit here and do every bet with you, Art, I'm just gonna roll for you. You'll obviously get a little bit more than what they get. So, and you guys do this for all 5 days?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you guys, you go out and fighting against the slaves and prisoners. This is a big open pit. It's all sand on the bottom, and there are like a couple pillars. Kind of make up a square in the area. And on the other side, you watch. Very common sight for you, Grim, and Lex, as they kind of just like push these cages up and just open up the cages and shove people out and then just close the door, and these people are kind of just like standing out here now, weapons in their hands, armor on. You don't know if they're prisoners or slaves. You don't know who they are, why they're here. Definitely look like they don't want to be here fighting, but you guys fight regardless. So we'll go ahead and we'll work on the 5 days.
I just look cold, like no, don't care for them at all.
So let me find. You guys can kind of talk about things as I sit here and roll all these
No.
dice?
You guys will notice that Billy is casting spells that you have never seen him cast before, and it doesn't look like he's doing it in the same fashion that he used to before. He runs up to like a group of these prisoners and burning hands them all, lights them all on fire. Then Eldritch blasts a few of them.
God, how much blood does a 12-year-old have?
Well,
If
I won't be paying attention to anything but fighting usually, so.
Sherbrooke won't watch the fights.
Watch the fights.
He won't. No. He'll watch the first one, but then realize what they're doing and just not watch.
We're straight up just killing people.
Yeah, so he won't watch.
Would you like murder? Because that's on the menu.
I think after like the first day, Lex will go over to Sherbrooke and say, "No, you kind of know what we're doing. Are you still willing to continue?"
I'll just bet I won't fight. I won't do it.
Yeah. Sorry.
I mean, I don't think they were getting out of here anyways.
And neither were we if we were going to be working those jobs for a long period of time. We needed some money fast, and this is the only way that I can think of getting it.
Yeah.
We just extradited their souls to the army.
Alrighty. I'm just gonna make this very simple and very easy.
And I still roll a natural 1.
So you guys go ahead and give me your rolls, your D100s, so that you include it, Billy.
Are we doing 5 fights or 3 again?
I'm sure we would have been going all out.
All out, all 5?
Let's just roll for each day at this point. So
Okay.
if you fight all 5 days, just do 5.
Rolls, yeah.
Do you want us just... Yeah, I was going to say... There we go.
And you just do it like that, and I can look at the individual rolls. Oh, Grim, you came pretty close one day. Alright, so all together, all of you, including Sherbrooke, you walk away with 1,100 copper pieces, 1,345 silver pieces, 350 electrum pieces, 2,343 gold pieces, and 90 platinum pieces.
So that's divided by 4 then. And we're splitting it evenly, guys.
We would. So everyone has money to gear up and have extra.
Okay, so breaking out the calculator.
Christ.
It's a lot of mojo.
Yes.
One platinum is 10 gold pieces, right?
100.
Is it 100?
No, I thought it.
Or
No,
is it
it's
10?
It's
Okay, I was going to say.
Yeah.
Oh, that's copper. Sorry.
Like,
I always get that wrong.
holy shit.
That would be hilarious. I was looking at the copper pieces. I'm like, yeah, it's 100. Oh, wait, we were talking about gold.
Yeah.
So it's for each, it's 22 platinum.
I was
It's
gonna-
22.5.
You want to put it in chat? It'd probably be a little bit easier.
If my computer would quit minimizing the screen. What the heck? My screen keeps like disappearing.
You got a button that's stuck somewhere?
No, not that I don't have, no. But anyways.
The struggle is real.
So look at that, guys. One session after hell, and you're already like rich enough to buy all your gear back.
All right, just go ahead and say the numbers.
I'm typing them. Oh, you're typing? Okay.
Yeah.
It's 22.5 platinum each. 585.75 gold each.
585.
0.75.
I wasn't going to do the points.
Okay,
75.
that's fine. 350 divided by 87 electrum each.
Wait a second, are we counting Electrum? Where does that fall from silver to gold?
It's electrum is half a gold. 336 silver each. And 275 copper each.
Yeah.
So we lose a little bit in the rounding, but it's whatever.
Yeah, might as well just leave it alone where it's at, so you're fine.
Yeah.
We'll just say that the bookie takes that cut.
There we go. That makes sense.
It works for me.
But you guys, as you go throughout your weeks, some of you fighting, some of you betting, one of you doing unimaginable things. And
We're never getting a description on what Arvio is doing right now. all you're going to hear is, man, would you, like, when you're sitting at the tavern, like, just out of nowhere, he'll just turn to Billy and be like, do you know how much blood a 12-year-old child has? And then continue eating his medium rare steak.
No idea.
Well, that's one way to end it.
That's what we
and another one of you who's been hanging out a lot at the temple, doing
Yeah. Do you mind if I try and fix Philip on the 5th day? See if I can manage to get him somewhat to work in order.
Sure.
I'll
No,
give
I don't.
Philip some gold too. Like,
I'm
if
sure
you
we're
want-
all
you-
going to be giving
yeah,
more.
yeah.
Yeah, you might want to wait a little sec.
Isn't that coin split 7 ways?
That was 4 ways from what I was told.
Yeah, that was
Okay.
4 ways.
Okay.
Philip is about to glow a little. Oh, and please let it be good. I'm using the owl feathers after concentrating on it for a sec. And if I roll somewhat decently, I'll say that Philip regained somewhat the ability to articulate his words and emotions.
Alright. Have you been doing your
Shit.
praying? Have you been doing your praying at all?
Yeah, for the 3 days.
Okay. I'll say having prayed to a god, like I said, you definitely walked away from your praying sessions
Mhm.
feeling as something has changed. So if you want to roll again,
But that's
for
already
advantage.
that's already with advantage because I used the owl's
Eh.
wisdom.
Reroll, dude.
Yeah, you're good.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. Let's see. Oh yeah, there you go.
There we go.
Basically, your god's granting on you, some divine power in this moment, and you definitely feel it as you sit here and try to make that. You just feel like there's something tugging on you. You have no idea what it
Yeah.
is. You definitely, having what you learned during your trip in hell
Mm.
and having spent a couple days praying, you definitely do kind of pick up that there's some kind of divine presence that's tugging on you.
Yeah, so for the very first time, I guess on the 5th day, considering this roll, you guys actually feel, oh, I'm so hungry.
At this point, it'd be the 10th day.
Oh, damn!
total.
Yeah, there we go. The 10th one.
Hey, he rose again. Hey, my Catholic upbringing came out a little. I'm just gonna go in my class.
All right. Well, we are pretty close to our time. We'll go ahead and next Saturday we'll just speed through the 5 days like we did kind of towards the end. I didn't want to just jump into it. I kind of want you guys to get a feeling for the city and stuff. But
Yeah. That's why I didn't jump into the arena right away either.
Same here. But I do want to probably go back to the blacksmith and learn some more smithing to make tinker's tools.
That, and I want to give him some money
Me too.
for helping
well,
us.
you guys, I mean, you don't have to be here for a full 30 days. I just figured that would be a good time frame for you to recoup and make your money and get your gear back and stuff. So, you got another 20 days to hang out here before we kind of get back into the more day-by-day methodical sessions. So think about what you want to do with those going forward, and like I said, we'll kind of just jump 5 days at a time next session.
We're all
hopefully
doing
get you
horrible
back.
stuff to do more horrible stuff.
Except
Well,
Philip.
For yourself.
Except Philip.
The thing
Yes, I'm fixing myself. I'm on the rehab.
yeah, we do have knowledge that we don't have to necessarily do the horrible stuff as long as we get ourselves into a situation where we can become powerful to deal with the situation that we currently are going to have to face.
All I gotta say is, we're level 5 instead of doing this from level 1.
Hey, we went to hell at level 3. I think we got this.
To be fair,
And survive.
rationalizing every atrocity he is committing by saying, "I'm doing this for my son."
I will say, to kind of bring things around, your characters are definitely have their own moral standings towards things. RVO, you're people don't necessarily see what they're doing as evil, so I mean your character can take that as it is. Your Sild seems to want to have law and order in this place, and he thinks undead is the best way to do it, and you've been doing things that normal people in other societies would not do. They frown upon, but take it as you will.
Here's what I got, right?
Mhm.
Here's what I got. At this point, it's like I'm dead out of money. I'm far more capable than every other wizard in here as far as intelligence goes. Or at least he likes to tell himself that. And at the end of the day, I probably only need to do 2 weeks of this before leaving.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying it's not like evil guys are sitting here cackling, rubbing their fingers together, saying we're going to burn the world down. They think wholly what they're doing is good.
Yeah, exactly. It's all relative. So it's like I have a lunch break with.
Yeah, so
bleed
about
out.
that body we just tore up and stitched together. Good work.
Okay, fantastic. Another job well done. I go back to the tavern and my hands. I didn't wash my hands, so they're just drenched with blood and other viscera. And I'm like, oh shit, Billy, can you take care? And also, don't ask questions. You do not want to know the answers.
I just along these lines though, DM, I believe that Billy's alignment at this point would probably shift to chaotic neutral rather than chaotic good.
Yeah, I agree with that. You guys are doing not necessarily what you would believe to be evil. As far as you guys know, you're fighting prisoners who did atrocious things. I mean, like I said, it is whatever you want to put into it. You are definitely killing other people, but at the same time, you know that you're fighting prisoners, and they could be slaves, but there seems to be.
It is life and death too. So.
Yep.
Yeah,
And
but
they have no qualms trying to kill you. But no, I definitely agree. It's a lot of mental. It's not surviving. You're doing this for sport, and there's a lot of mental alignment that goes into that. So I agree if you shift.
it's not just this, but it's also everything else that has occurred at this point with other deals that were made and all that.
Yeah, makes sense.
That I believe it. I would be hard to justify the good alignment at this point with him.
Yeah.
He's doing what he's doing to try to survive and get better, but I don't think I can stay on the good with that.
I
We're
definitely
currently
agree.
belly of the beast right now. If that of the redemption arc, ironically.
The funny thing too is how Lex is seeing this king do the city. I think he kind of sees part of that like he sees a little bit of himself in this city because he came from something similar to this. Would that be correct, Zoltik? Saying something like that? He's building a force to protect himself, in a sense, is how Lex is seeing it.
You definitely see that he is building these mindless drones who will do whatever he says for the quote-unquote good of the people.
Yeah.
And definitely from, your background of being that you were built to fight and protect people, you basically have a lot in common with these, except you're sentient and can think for yourself. They're not. And then Philip, he's definitely having his own journey, so
Yeah.
he hasn't has the qualms of either making zombies or killing people.
Well, let's just say Philip really never experienced so much chaos and evil around him in his life, and just to jump from peaceful woods and hunting for food to misfigured creatures in hell as it rains, deals for the soul, slavery, and just torture and whatever. It's kind of mind breaking.
Good thing he's not coming to us at the arena.
Psychological shatter, yeah.
Yeah.
Philip, I actually have something very good for you next session.
Oh, thanks.
Arvio is going to come to you with a request, and maybe it'll help lighten things up, because Arvio, he doesn't worry about a lot of people. He's not exactly a moral crutch of a kid, especially not this early in their adventure, right? Maybe later, but not right now. But you're the kind of one of the people he gives kind of half, maybe like a quarter of a shit about.
Well, you say that, but before we entered the town, considering the startups mindset of Philip, if you would have made the wrong move at the start of the game, I could see him starting choking you.
This game or the campaign?
So yeah.
This game or the campaign?
No, this game, because
okay.
as I said, he was so mentally all over the place that he kind of started to confuse you for the devils that kind of bullied him. So
yeah,
it was kind of like
and we're gonna have a positive character interaction, and maybe you'll be able to talk.
Yeah,
I mean, I managed to go through it. Like I'm making progress.
You are. Now we're gonna start with therapy. He's probably
gonna
commission something from you. You get a little bit of money, and you get to see where it goes, because you can make those little action figures, right?
I don't have my knife anymore, or wood for that matter.
Oh,
so.
I have 1,000 gold, so it's going to take care of itself.
Excuse me, I got 4 gold. I can afford a piece of wood.
Okay, cool. Okay, how about this? You get the wood. I get everything else that's required, and we forget.
You know what? That kind of feels challenging, considering we're on the freaking desert. Thank you.
You're welcome. But here's the thing. I will get you your tools if you do me a commission for free.
Depending on what's on your mind,
I want a crab.
Oh yeah, hell yeah, you're gonna get your crab.
And you're going to see where it goes. You're gonna see where it goes, and it'll be nice, and it'll be heartwarming, and it'll be positive and wholesome
and then at the end of the game, I'm gonna regret doing it. Okay, I'll see how it goes.
Yeah. We'll turn the crab into an undead, and it'll just kill children. And actually, you know what? Exclusively babies.
How are you planning to turn wooden crab into undead crab? What?
Well, apparently I've been doing some dark and terrible shit, so I bet I know.
What?
Well, I will say, before I head off for tonight, this is definitely a point you guys went through hell. You had a very, very world-changing experience. And you ended up in a desert, in a town that is ruled by some kind of guy that has an undead army. So any of you who feel in line with Billy that your character has had a alignment shift, this would be the perfect place and time to do it, because I couldn't think of a more life-changing series of events than what you guys have currently gone through. So
I was considering going to just neutral, but because I'm kind of recovering from my current state, I feel like I could still stay on neutral good for now.
And that's fine.
Trying to think of
As-
where Lex would go from neutral.
I would-
neutral.
I would say don't delve too much into evil yet. You guys are definitely in the DM's mind of the guy who's sitting here playing the role, quote unquote, of the gods. You guys have been doing chaotic neutral stuff.
Hey, I'm on
You're just trying to survive, and you're doing things that you find excuses to get over it with. So I wouldn't say it was exactly outright evil what you guys are doing, but take with that what you will. Like I said, this is just food for thought. If you think your character would alignment shift, this is a great place to do it. But otherwise, that is it for the night.
All right.
I will see you all in a week.
Well, thank you guys.
Bye-bye.
Have a good one.
You guys ever had a good night?
It occurs to me
Stream?
that the way Arvio has been acting has been stupid on point. If everybody's switching to chaotic neutral, and he just looks at you, and it's like, well, now you understand what it's like to live
I'll
here.
check it.
Now you know why I act like this. Because he went to hell, and he's just like, just grumbling through the entire experience. Then he pops back home, and he's like, oh, this shit again. He's not drunk, he's just frustrated.
Philip, just so you know,
Yeah.
I think every night Lex will kind of go over to you and ask how you're doing. Are you all right? You know,
I mean,
try to comfort you to a point, but he knows that you're going through a shocking experience, considering that he knows only a little bit about you. So yeah, I think that's what he would try doing.
so yeah, I mean, I guess on the 10th day, you two could finally